I live? I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Rumen. Hey, Nin Jackson. How's it going, guys? Just setting stuff up right now. If someone wants to join, let me know and share their workflow. I'm just trying to set up Twitter right now. You guys see the chat? Is chat working? Oh, hold on. It's not working yet. Hold on. Hold on, guys. This one here. Okay. That there. And here. Okay, where's chat? Chat. Which is okay. I think I can see chat. Can you guys send something? Let's see. What's up, Rumen? Haven't seen you in a while. We have our CEO video pending. What's up, Dan? What's up, Happy and Z? Tony has to give a Marchi a try. Yeah. He'll end up doing it. You'll see. I'm gonna create a video about it. Why does this stream elements thing send messages? I don't want to. I don't want you to show messages, man. Right user. You like that? Okay. Let me go to Twitter, guys. Let's see. Okay, so who wants to join and share their workflow? I have 4 spots open. You don't need to show your cameras if you're afraid. Maybe you're too pretty. You just don't want all the girls like Sylvan. So hold on. How do I share this? Let me just share this on Twitter. I'll be with you guys right now. Here are your workflows. Logi, streaming, public, everyone. Start immediately and create broadcast. Okay, so I'm sending this to Twitter as well. Okay, so Twitter is working. YouTube seems to be working. I'm not looking. See what we have in chat. Okay, so Nin Jackson, your workflow is the textbook definition of scuffed. What is scuffed? Is it too much or is it too minimalistic? Tanky? Doesn't matter, man. You can show it. Doesn't have to be perfect. See Boras, you use Windows. Doesn't matter. You can share that as well. Is there an open VC? Okay, now for you to share your workflow, let me increase the time for the messages here. Hold on. YouTube chat. Going to increase it to uh 10 seconds so that I can see them. Okay. So for you to join, are you in Discord? Do you see the message that is pinned here on the chat, right? So there's a link to a Discord post there. So you click on that link, it's gonna take you to a post, and I'm gonna send you the links that you need to use to join there. Just send me a message there. Gonna send it. Gonna turn the AC down because it's too hot. 27 Celsius is fine. Okay, you sent it there. Okay, I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay. Gonna send you a message one on one. Okay. Now, I'm gonna send you the instructions. Just make sure to read them. It's a little bit confusing, I would say. No, it's not too confusing. I'm gonna send them right now. Okay. Furries. Okay. You're gonna be furry one. Oh, why does it? Okay, it's gonna send it as a text message. I don't know why Discord does this, because the message apparently is too long. But I pay for the freaking um what is it? Nitro boost or whatever it's called. So read the instructions, take your time. We're not in a hurry. Okay. And if you have any questions, let me know. Who else from chat wants to join? People may be wondering, what is this guy doing with furries? Just imagine you scrolling through YouTube, right? And you see this. What the fuck is happening? No, please, YouTube, don't demonetize me. I'm not gonna say bad words. Just imagine you're scrolling. You don't know who I am, right? You're just scrolling through YouTube. You see this. What would you think? What would you think? That'd be weird, right? Now, Rumen, in case that you're still around, yeah, we can do it this Sunday. You want to do it this Sunday? That works for me. Oh, let me see, because I have a Neovim call. The call with Justin. When is that? Having... No, that is not this Sunday. That is next Sunday. You guys know Justin? Justin Keys. He's like the main Neovim maintainer, we could say. Well, there's not a main guy, they say, but there is. That should be him. Okay. If you want to join this one, Rumen, you can go ahead and do it as well. We're waiting on Nin. Almost in. That's what she said. Okay. Any of the shy ones that are just there reading and listening.
Hello, hello.
Okay, I can hear you. Hold on.
Awesome.
Okay, now, do you have the stream? Can you mute the stream? I think that's where the echo
I
comes
did
in.
mute the stream. Is
Yep,
it echoing for you?
it was a little bit. I don't think it is anymore.
Okay, I am wearing headphones and using a
Okay,
video
okay,
mic, so
awesome.
I think
You want to share your camera?
uh you know what?
Or
Screw it,
you
why not?
prefer the image that was assigned to you? Does that represent you more?
I I wish it did, because then I might actually have money.
Uh-huh.
Uh it seems kind of part of the territory of being a furry, but I'm sadly not in furry money territory.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
see.
Oh, I can see your camera. You want me to share
Oh,
it?
we can. Oh yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
Hold on. Where is this thing? Camera. And I have like, I don't know, 200 scenes. So it gets tricky.
Yeah,
Is the
scene
one?
management is
There we go. Okay.
oh, there I go.
Okay, that's
You're gonna just
perfect.
awesome.
Gonna
So I
fix your
just
name
gotta
here. Gonna put the
for
same one that you have.
you know what? No, let's diversify. I'm furry one for today.
Okay, that's gonna be the description.
Yeah, actually that's perfect. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
you can still
Wish
be
I
furry one.
should superimpose a transparent PNG of a furry suit in the background just so people think I'm legit.
Okay, who
I got the
else
VR
wants?
headset, that's close enough.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Let's see. Let's see if your audio is good. Can you say a few words?
Hello, hello. How we
Yeah,
doing?
yep. I can hear you well. Let me see. Hold on. Bring up the level a little bit here. Don't worry, I'll do it here. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can hear you.
Hello again. How we doing?
Yep, yep. I can hear you
Get
well.
some P's and S's in there.
Yep,
I have no filters on this mic at the moment, so you're
that's
getting it
good,
raw.
man. Make you smaller. Here.
Perfect.
Okay. Who else from chat wants to join? Who wants to share their workflow? There's 15 people watching right now and they're just reading. They're
The
shy. They don't want to
lurkers.
do it. Yeah. But I hear some echo somewhere. Hold on, let me see.
I don't know what it could be. I wonder if there's like audio feedback somewhere in Pipewire.
Oh, but
Probably not, but
let's do something. I'll do it here. I can do it here. Don't worry. There. this thing has something echo cancellation on. Okay, that should do it. Let's see if I can hear it. Nope.
Hello?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
I don't hear it anymore.
Sweet.
Okay, so
I hope it
y-
actually selected the right microphone. That would be very irritating.
let's
Nope, that just
see.
muted me.
Let me see which one I have. I'll tell you what microphone I have here. I see.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the audio quality like? Because I've got this crappy built-in one. I'm hoping to use this.
Oh, it doesn't sound that great. What
Any
I
different here?
there,
Is that
there.
just okay? There we go.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it. Because it's probably picking it up from the drivers in here. That's
Oh, yeah. That's
stupid.
yeah, way better. Extremely
Okay,
better.
I pulled this thing out of my drawer specifically for this, and I was like, I got to sound good.
No, no, no.
That's
That sounds way better. I'm used to bad microphones, and I have to see what I do. But no, this sounds good.
okay. Sweet, sweet,
Okay,
awesome.
we have Saucy there. You want to share your workflow, Saucy? Rumen is shy today. What is Rumen doing? Hmm. Okay, he's shy. He wants to see if he can outperform you. He wants to see how you perform, and he's gonna decide based on that.
Oh God. Well, so the jank in question that I mentioned earlier is it'll show. My workflow is I hesitate to say bare bones. I've just not put any of the effort into the right places. So,
Mhm.
where most people are, configuring tmux and their Neovim for fast things, I'm over here like, I'm gonna go learn the intricacies of Linux's dbus system so I can do basic things like have funny little notifications when a job is finished. And I'll spend
Mhm.
like 3 hours on that, and then
Oh
I'll go over
man.
to Neovim, and it's like, I'm still, manually typing the closing brace or something because I just haven't bothered. It's, it's, yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Do you consider it a time sink? Do you consider that you waste too much time doing all this stuff?
Yes and no. It depends on where I'm going to end up career-wise, because if I end up in DevOps, hell yeah, I've been putting all of my time into the right places. If I end up in any other position, it's going to be a complete waste of time. Never going to use any of that stuff professionally. Probably won't use it for myself because I'll end up transitioning over to something more reasonable once I get tired of spending 8 hours a day grinding away at configurations that are, 1% improvements. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
it's
mess.
fun. Why do you do
Oh,
it?
it's
It's like
very
a game,
fun.
right? Do you feel that it's
Yeah.
like a video game or something?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like speed running. I have a task, and I'm like, oh, this task takes me 30 seconds. Can I cut that down in any way, shape, or form? I'm gonna spend. I, have you seen that XKCD post where it's like the graph of the times where if a task takes you 30 seconds, you can justify 2 hours automating it if you spend X amount of do it X times a week or something. Like I'm I would love to take something like that to heart, but no, I will put like anyone in the workflow scene. I'm just putting so many hours into the littlest little things that aren't really that impactful. Much like a video game. I spend a lot of time gaming as well, and it feels almost analogous.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you got. Now, Rumen says that he wants to be furry forward. Yeah, Rumen, you can be the furry that you want. You like that one better? Yep, yep. Doesn't matter. Let's see if Saucy can do it as well. Let's see if there's anyone out there in chat that wants to join. Okay. Now, did you see that I sent two links? One.
I did. I clicked on the other link. Let's see if it Oh, okay. I gotta select screen to share.
Yep, yep.
I think this is the correct 1080 by 19 HDMI 1. That's the son of a gun.
Where do you where are you from, or where are you based from? In
I'm
case you want to share
from
it. I don't know if you want to keep it private, it's fine.
Totally fine with that. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I'm from Oregon originally, kind of Portlandish area. I moved up to North Idaho for school, which I just finished my 2-year degree.
Mhm.
So now I'm in the process of job hunting, and we'll see where I end up. So yeah,
Oh,
Oregon originally.
you're living by yourself right now? Are you studying at the moment?
So I finished. Is that screen sharing working? I'm on Wayland, which makes screen sharing like pulling teeth. So let's
Okay,
see if
let's give it a
that.
moment. Gonna show up in a minute. Let's see.
It's not showing me a preview, so I'm assuming it just
Oh no, I see it.
worked itself.
I
Oh,
see
are we
it.
good?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
the mouse mousing around? Perfect.
yeah. I see it, but I don't know why my OBS is not picking it up. Let's just give it a minute. Let me see if I see it here. Okay, so on screen, hold on. Why is this thing not showing? Hold on. Test one. Okay, hold on. John Bradley, are you gonna join us, Will? You're gonna share your screen? These guys are shy. Come on, guys.
And here I thought I was introverted.
And I am really introverted, but I don't know what happened. Oh, the first videos were painful. God damn, it was horrible.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a process.
yeah, but oh, the first time that I showed my camera, man, it's embarrassing. It's horrible. Hey,
I think this
Roman.
is the first time I've done it in public.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Used to stream on Twitch when I was like 16 and like, random video games and stuff, and it's just, yeah. That was a scuffed setup. This is nothing. I tried to use a Kindle Fire, which at the time they were like $50, and if you can imagine the mobile camera you'd get in a $50 tablet, that's what I was trying to use over micro USB network tethering with VDO.Ninja. It was I was lucky if I was getting like 120p on that camera. So I'm not worried at all about that being where my identity gets leaked, because they're not going to have much to work with.
Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on, Roman. I can see that you're ready. Let me just try to find the screen. Why is that screen not showing? Guess one.
So you can see it on yours. I just want to make sure
Oh no,
Wayland isn't.
I can see it, but I don't know why my OBS is not picking it up. So it's not on your side. Don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
here on my side.
With Wayland, I always have to worry.
Let's see.
We'll get into that as part of the workflow, because it is driven like half of the automations I've done. Just trying to work around stupid bullshit.
He guessed one screen. Yeah, no. Should be here. Can you, let's try something. Can you just refresh that page where you're sharing the screen? Just refresh it. Let's see what happens. Yep. Let's just refresh it. Ian is there as well. In case that you wanna be another furry, Ian, you can join us as well. Okay, you
Did
shared
that
it?
work? For some reason.
Okay, let's see.
For some reason, every single time I do share it, it keeps popping up the window asking me if I'd like to share it again, which I don't fully understand. If I just
Okay.
click it again. How bad could it be? Oh, wait, there we go.
There we go.
That is the complete incorrect window. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Let's
switch.
try that one
I'll
more
switch
time.
and you let me know. Okay, now let me send the links to the other guys while you do that. So Roman
Sounds
is
good.
one. Okay. Roman wants to be furry 4.
Entire screen.
Okay. Roman. Okay. Now, I don't want to put my computer through a lot of stress, so we will have to be alternating the screen sharing link. It's going to be the same for everyone. So, because I can handle 4 cameras and 4 screen shares, but my computer suffers a little bit and it gets a little bit laggy, so I don't want to do that. We're going to use one screen
Really?
share. We're gonna share it amongst everyone. Okay, so we're gonna take turns, but everyone will be able to share their camera. I already sent you the links, Rumen. See who else wants to join. Oh, Drew from Just a Guy Linux. You wanna join us as well, Drew? We're just yeah, we're just gonna see chat sharing their workflows, you know. Did you get excited when you saw all the furries? You said, parties parties happening. Okay. Did you share? Oh, okay. I can see your screen now.
Oh, I just realized Wayland's gonna be okay. So the compression's gonna be screwing me over. I can already see there's like this is not supposed to be green. I assume you know because you've seen the.
Oh, but it
the
looks good. I don't see that it's that bad. I don't see it green. I see it kind of grayish. Well, I don't know the colors, but how do you see it?
Yeah, let me see. Actually, I can quite definitively say. I guess that is more gray than green. I don't know. Wayland screen sharing is. Oh wait, no. You know what I'm seeing? I'm
What?
seeing two different previews. I'm seeing the video preview and then the stream preview, and the stream looks fine. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
we're good.
looks good.
Let's see. I'm only working with good old 1080p here. Oh, now I'm hearing feedback.
Oh,
We got someone in?
yeah, the guy that leaks audio all the time. Hold on. Let me let me just let me fix Rumen. Hold on. Wait, Rumen, because hold on. Let me share your camera, Rumen. Yeah, mom. How should I call you, Nin or Nin Jackson or what?
Tim, actually. No, I'm kidding. Jack is fine. Jackson, I don't care. If it has a J and a C in it, I'll probably figure it out.
Okay. Camera with 44. Okay, here. So 44 is here. What are you showing your hand, Rumen?
Knuckle reveal.
Yep.
The
Fun.
CSA, very nice.
Okay.
I can show my face too.
Oh, we only have one. You can only show one camera. So which one do you want to show? That one?
No, I'll show my face. It's the same camera. I just have to turn it
Okay.
around. Just have to see if it's working pretty good now. My
Okay.
iPhone.
I'll move it around. Are you gonna leave it there?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So let me fix your audio, Rumen. Can you talk for a little while?
Okay, I'm gonna try to talk for a little while.
Okay, let's see. Filters. Expression. Okay. Can you say something there?
I'm saying something. How does it sound?
It doesn't sound that great. What microphone? Okay. Let's see.
AirPods.
Oh, AirPods. Okay. I'm going to do the noise cancellation thing here. Okay. Didn't hear it. All right. So we have Rumen and we also have Nin Jackson. And let's see. What do you have for us, Jackson? Oh, we're missing two others. Hold on. Hold
Yeah,
on,
we gotta get
Jackson.
2 and 3 in here. Can't be
Yeah.
the only furry.
Yeah, we're missing two more in case you want to join, Ian, or whoever in chat wants to join. If Drew, you're still around, you can join as well. Well, Drew is a celebrity, so he's like, I'm not gonna join these peasants in
Us normies.
live stream. Man, that's bad on your part, Drew. Come on, man. Ian, okay. Just let me know, guys, if you want to join. Now let's see if the donation bar works as well. Can someone send a $50 donation? We're gonna see if it goes all the way. Okay. Now, Jackson, let's give it a try. What do you have for us? Okay, I see your screen now.
Okay, awesome. So, let me see. Oh, I guess I gotta start with a hyperfetch, or no, that's not a thing. What's the new one? Fast fetch?
Fast fetch. Yep.
Yeah, Nix packet. So I'm on NixOS.
Oh, you had to be. Okay.
I had to be. Well, it's
So the furry is actually not that far off, right?
you know, that's what I was saying. I've got the furry hobbies. I've got the furry aesthetic. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, how are we looking here? Is this furry enough for people? I don't
Yeah.
know. No idea about that community. The only thing I don't have is the furry income. That's only
Oh,
thing.
yet.
We got another Jackson
Yet.
in chat. Hell yeah. Let's see. I hope I didn't just leak any horrible information. But yeah, so NixOS is my operating system of choice. I was on Arch for about 2 weeks. Ran into a library conflict where it just broke my package manager, and I couldn't actually update the package to fix the package manager, and people were saying to just reinstall. So, oh yeah, don't get me started on the bloat. It's let me see. Yeah, so when I talk about scuffed, NixOS, if you haven't seen very much of it, very modular. Lets you split everything up into modules, and you know, good practice in just about any coding project if you can split it up into those atomic chunks. I just throw everything into a 700 line file, and I just keep adding to it. So these are all of the packages I've installed, and I just keep adding to it. There's no categorization here. There's no like it just goes in order. Sometimes if I'm like, oh yeah, if there's something Wayland related, maybe I'll put that there, or if it's development related, I'll toss it down here. You know, you've got your to-do list items that have been there since I installed the operating system.
What terminal is this? I see the cursor moving around. Is this Kitty?
Ooh, no. This is Neovide. It's specifically a
Oh,
Neovim
okay.
front end. You probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it for, so when Kitty added the cursor, that was, love that feature. One of my favorite features, because I'm a very visual person. In order to see context switching, like when I see people on their tiling window managers and they switch workspaces or something, just opening a window for context, like if I don't see the movement, it doesn't process. I'm like a T-Rex. I just lose that object permanence. I'm like, where am I? What happened? What's this context? So being able to see things move on screen, so important to me. So Neovide gives me that context, both with the cursor, because I can see, like if I jump to the bottom, it's immediately obvious because that's where the cursor went. Or if I'm quickly
something
scrolling
that happened with me and Neovide, I stopped using it because it was not easy to switch between projects, right? So since you cannot use Tmux and there's no like session management that you can do in it, it's like to switch to a different project, you have to quit, DD into it, or there's a project manager Neovim plugin that I used as well, but it didn't feel too. So how do you feel about that?
I was actually going to bring this up because it is another extension of the scuffiness of this setup. I don't use a terminal multiplexer at all. I don't even use Kitty windows. All of my project categorization and organization happens on the window manager level. So in Hyperland, I just have everything on a workspace. Neovide is great because I've got my built-in terminal emulators. You know, like if I just open term there, voila, I've got a terminal emulator. I don't really need it outside of that context. I can do all of my terminal work within the Neovide terminal emulator, so to speak. If I really need Kitty features, I can just open a Kitty window. They're still in the same context, and I have that muscle memory of switching windows built into the operating system. I don't need to rely on memorizing either Kitty binds or Tmux binds or whatever multiplexer you use. It's a like I just keep it dead simple.
Okay.
If I have to interact with a tool for organization or for navigation outside of like CD, I'm doing something wrong because my window manager is so ridiculously powerful with switching contexts and switching projects and such that why wouldn't I just use everything that system provides and then not have the cognitive load of learning a new tool?
Yeah. Show me how you switch between projects with your window manager. Like, is it Like you have a project bind to key map and a different project to a different key map, or how do you switch?
So how I enter a project, that's where it usually starts. What I'll do is I'll switch to a new workspace. So top left corner up here, you can see all of my workspaces, and I can name these as well. So if I was working on my Nix OS configuration, I could rename this to Nix OS. And you can see up there the name changed. These are bound to my number keys. So 1 through 10 is the 10th workspace, but it's bound to 0.
Mhm.
When I hit the super key, which is that top level input, bind, it's like a command on macOS, my hyperlink intercepts that and is able to pass that context to, in this case, this is AGS, it's my shell. I say shell. AG we could get into AGS later, but long story short, it's a GTK app that gives me a status bar. Very custom. I wrote a dbus interaction setup where Hyperloop will notify this over dbus that I'm pressing the super key. So every time I press it, and this is a very long-winded way to say, when I press the super key, it shows the number of the workspace instead of the name. So I can just toggle between those. It's the stupidest. Like this, what you're seeing right here, this tiny little thing is probably a combined 20 hours of effort because I had to learn dbus and free desktop and Wayland protocols and all in TypeScript, and it's just it's so much effort for so little reward. But I'm still happy about it. So yeah, when I'm beginning a new project, I'll switch to a new workspace. I'll call it whatever. I'll call it like I don't know, some shell script or whatever. And then so Kitty has panels. I don't know if you've seen those. They're I don't know what the support is like on Mac, but on Linux it basically just renders a terminal in a new layer. Wayland has these very esoteric things called layers where it renders apps in certain layers, and it depends on how you want to interact with it. You can request what type of interaction you would like. The compositor doesn't have to respect it. It might just be like, no, you don't get anything. It's up to the user. But in my case, I use Kitty panel. So if I type Windows Shift N, it opens up this Kitty panel with Fuzzy Finder across my entire file system. And if I want to search for a project like .local/bin is where I would probably go if I wanted to edit that. I hit enter, it opens up in Neovim. And now I'm here, and then I'm in my workspace, and
Okay, hold on.
Yada yada yada.
Hold on for a little while. Hold on. Let's
Okie
just
dokie.
add the other guests.
For sure.
Because Drew joined us right now. Hey, Drew, I'm gonna test your audio right now as well. Just give me a second. Okay, so we got Drew there. You guys know who Drew is, right?
I think so.
Drew. He has a channel with more than 10,000 subscribers. Bigger than me. Just guy. Is it separate words? Okay, let's see if I can hear you, Drew. Hold on. See. Okay. Can you say something, Drew? Let's see if we can hear you.
I don't know if I can say anything, but I'm definitely not Furry 3.
Okay. I can hear you. Drew. Okay. Also, who is missing? Furry 2. Okay, hold on. Your wife is gonna watch this, Drew, and is gonna be like, what is this guy doing? Why is Furry? Like
It's gonna be bad.
Okay. Ian. Okay, I just sent you the links, Ian. Okay. So I can hear all of you. Oh, it's one word. Just the guy is one word, right? Okay. And we're just missing Furry 2. Give me a second, guys, and then we're gonna jump to the demos.
I look a bit like Fortnite Ninja. Fascinating. Just need the blue hair.
Yes. Two.
I should probably put the stream preview on the other side so you guys aren't just getting a horrifyingly sharp side view of the chin.
I can see it well. Looks good. Okay. Here we have the fourth member. Can you say a few words, Ian?
Hey,
He talks like Batman, so don't get scared, because that's a deep voice. Can you just said one word. Can you just say a couple words so I can see if you're leveled?
hello, testing 1 2 1 2.
Hold on.
No, can I?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Get chopped
increase
off.
the gain a little bit. You don't sound that well, but yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. What if I bring my mic all the way up here?
Yep.
Better?
Yep.
Worse?
Yeah, that's good.
I can adjust my
No, it's
input
fine.
level if you want.
Yeah, I already adjusted it here. Let's leave it at that. Okay. So
Alright.
let's go with Jackson. We're gonna switch to his screen and let's just see then. Okay, go on, Jackson. We already have a full house.
Okay, awesome. Where were we? I guess so. Yeah. The context of context, like a project context. To recap, it's on a workspace level for my window manager of choice. So no terminal multiplexer, no sub windows within Kitty. I've seen this setup exactly once in my entire life. This is the second. Never bothered because I was like, how do I switch these again? Oh, I don't remember. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna open another one and then use that level of switching. Because why would I? Like I said, why would I bother learning a whole extra set of binds when I have binds that are functionally identical? And I know, oh, what about your environment variables and your aliases and stuff? It's like I'm not. If I need those, I'm just gonna pull them in from a .env file. Why are we overcomplicating it? Why do I need an entire piece of software to do something that I already have a piece of software to do? But that's all besides the point. The actual workflow itself mostly boils down to, jumping between Neovim, a Kitty window if I need it. Usually if I just need multiple. My great shame, I am still technically using NVChad. This is not fully custom. I wish it was. Just haven't had the time to. I say I haven't had the time. I could have dedicated that 20 hours of, GTK and dbus to actually fully customizing this. But yeah, no, it's just a very customized NVChad.
Okay, and
But
the
it
chat.
works.
And have you thought about switching to your own distro?
Oh yeah, every day, every single day. The problem is NVChad just comes with so many nice defaults, and what I would effectively be doing is building up from, base Neovim to what NVChad already is,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like back to square one. Like, great, now I have, now I just have NVChad again, but it's mine. So so what? I can just build on top of it. And if they ever do something I don't like, whatever. I'll just spend that time, move everything over. I dislike how they handle their plugin API. They don't do things. I mean, I haven't really looked at other Neovim distros, but I don't think they do things like a normal Neovim distro. They have everything within one gigantic plugin. So, like Telescope, you can't just call Telescope. You have to call it specifically through the NVChad interfaces so that everything integrates together. So it's like, why can't
Okay.
you just make things simple?
Now,
But
why Nix? Why Nix?
why Nix? It's really stupid. So I've only been on NixOS for about a year, and my total time on Linux as a daily driver is a year and 1 month. So most of my Linux experience is on NixOS, which was a decision. I will give my past self credit that it was probably a good decision because it was a good learning opportunity. But I would never in 10 million years recommend NixOS to anyone who wants to actually just get things done. It is the time investment, at least for me, was so immense. The trade-off was worth it. Like, I am very, very, very happy that I've sunk all this time in because I think it's going to solve a lot of problems for me in the future. But if you've got a workflow that works for you already, stay away from it. It's just not worth it for 90% of people. But I was jumping in. I was fresh off of an Arch installation that I had done for the first time a month ago. I was like, oh, I want to do what do I want? I think I wanted to install a package. Booted it up for the first time in like 2 weeks because I was dual booting with Windows, and some library updated itself, and that library was a dependency of my package manager, and it just broke the package manager. So I couldn't roll back. I had to, like, I don't even remember what the process was. I don't even think I fixed it, if I'm being completely honest. I think I said, fuck this, and I, closed everything down and booted into the NixOS installer. Because I had heard, secondhand, oh, they don't have this problem. They have the Nix store, and that keeps everything clean. And you can roll back if you have problems. If you do an update and it breaks stuff, you can roll back. I'm like, oh, that's cool. How hard could it be? I, for the first month of using it, because I wanted to start with Hyperland as well, I didn't have a clock. To check the time, I would have to use, time date CTL, and to find my battery, I had an alias in my ZSHRC, which would cat the actual battery device in my file system, because trying to get third-party applications that aren't in Nix packages installed was, I hesitate to say, one of the most esoteric programming challenges I've ever run into, but it was definitely one of the weirdest, because it was just an area that I've literally never interacted with before. Like, I did my experience with dynamic linking was like, oh, I had a CMake file once and it did everything for me, and that was it. So going in and having to learn how all of these systems worked while learning a new operating system, learning a new window manager, it's just,
You decided to go, not hard mode, you decided to go God mode. Someone in the comments said, this seems to be missing the HH and Omarchi. No, it's not Omarchi, guys. Did you guys watch the Primogens video? It's Omachi. You don't pronounce the R. Okay, so, complex setup, Jackson, and you're just starting. God damn. Let's see who is next. Let's see who is gonna prepare to share next. Drew, Rumen, Ian, wanna do it, Drew?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that, and just because that can be done with. I don't know that I have that like significant a workflow in terms of like, because most of the stuff that I do is on the web, just web browser type stuff. I will share.
Okay. Now we have to, when you try to share, what happens? I just want to see what happens. Do you see a message that says that someone else is sharing, or what happens?
Yeah. Do I need to close that out?
Don't close it, Jackson.
Okay.
Or I'm just calling you names. I don't remember. So
Jackson is fine.
Okay,
that works.
What happens when you try to share, Drew? Does it tell you that someone else is sharing?
It says it's sharing your screen.
Oh, so it allowed you to do it?
It's, yeah.
Oh, and did you close it on? Oh no, hold on. Hold on. It says it's sharing. That's what you see on your side?
What I see is Jackson's screen.
Okay.
Is that what you're?
No, but I mean, when you click on the link to share the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. When you try to share.
Stream ID is already in use.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can kick Jackson out of here. Just the screen. Hold on. I'm just hold on. Don't quit it, Jackson. Hang up. There we go. Try to do it now, Drew.
I refresh then? You load the page?
Yep. Just refresh it. Yep. Because I can take 4 video streams and I can take 4 screens as well, but my computer goes through kind of a little bit of pain, so I don't want to do it. Okay, and we're just gonna
Which
do
M series are you on, out of curiosity?
M4.
You're on an M4 and you can't handle 4 video streams at the same time?
Oh, but that's 8, because I have to
Oh,
handle
okay.
the
That's
4
true.
cameras, the 4 screens. It can
But
handle it.
but 8 gigabytes is like 16 gigabytes in a normal computer, so you should be fine.
No, the CPU is the one that suffers, man.
Oh,
The
right.
CPU,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we
Okay.
can see your screen now, Drew.
Oh, okay.
What do you have
cool.
for us? Now, Drew, do you have a video for someone that wants to start with Debian? Because I installed Arch, but I'm not gonna go with Arch. I'm gonna go with Debian like a king.
I have two videos. One is setting up ButterFS, so that you can use time shift and stuff like that. That's
Mhm.
the more popular of the 2 videos. The one I just did recently was a 10-minute video, like or 10-minute install challenge. I downloaded the ISO from the Debian website and burned it to a USB and actually installed it in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Now, because I'm gonna watch one of those.
Yeah.
So should I go with ButterFS? That's for snapshots,
I
right?
don't think you have to right off the bat. No, I just think
So what do I do? ext4 then? Is that the?
yeah, it's just ext4. Like this video here, this Trixie install the 10-minute challenge.
Mhm.
That's fine for like most people.
Do you
can
go
just-
over PyCom and that stuff there, or no?
No, I can't do that. I mean, this is just an install video.
Okay,
So,
because I know how to install Debian. I have done it a lot of times, but I don't
yeah, I know.
install.
I remember you saying that
Uh-huh.
mostly, and you
But-
do it probably the way that that I'm describing here, because it's basically headless. There's nothing on there except whatever base package is, and when you actually reboot the machine, you're just going to a TTY.
Mm.
So,
And what do
nothing
I
on
do
there.
after? That's the question. Like, okay, so now what desktop environment do I choose? Like, how do I install the Windows
Again,
Manager?
that's very up to you. So let me go over here to my Codeberg. So what I've been doing is creating these like little mini projects. How to doing an install of DWM, doing an install of Sway, for example, if you wanted to go the Wayland compositor route. The one I just did like a live stream on was the Awesome WM. That's
Mm.
using Lua, and I thought maybe that would be something that you might be interested in, since you do your
Neovim config.
Neovim
Yep.
in Lua.
Mhm.
Go ahead and click on that.
So in your Codeberg, you have like instructions. For
So
the
actually,
next steps?
if you do that install, that 10-minute challenge, and then you just install Git, and then go to this and do a Git clone of this repo, and run this installer script. It will install all the packages that you need to run my
your
custom
config.
kind of like
Yeah.
awesome WM.
I don't feel too comfortable with that because I just like understanding what's happening on every step along the
Well, I mean,
way.
you could definitely, I mean, if you want to look at this, this install script, you can just kind of like cherry pick, and you go, all right, I'm going to install Awesome. I'm going to install Awesome Extra and so on. And then you'll get the idea. You don't have to actually install it this way, but you can definitely see what I've installed in this section here, so that you can pick and choose. It's like, do I want the Thunar file manager? Maybe not.
Okay,
So
okay.
You can just, so that you can just kind of like
Yeah,
pick whatever
I'll
one you
read through it, and when I have questions, I'll let you know. Okay. Now,
Okay.
your screen looks. This is a widescreen monitor, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to change. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you need me to bail, that's fine too.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Now, Yeah, I know that changing your resolution in Linux means probably or could probably mean that you're gonna break your system. So I understand that.
I don't think I could. I would probably just change machines if I was going to do this.
Okay, but what do you have for us? What do you have for us? Show us your terminal editor and whatever you want to show about your
Sure.
workflow.
So I don't know if you can see everything I've got going here. This is DWM. This is not what I've been using for the last week though, but I just thought if I was going to be sharing my screen, DWM would probably be the easier of the two. I've been using Sway. So if I was, if I'm looking at actually this video here, I did a Sway video, and it is a project that I have at Berg as well. It's one of the, and so it basically it's very, very kind of sparse. But if I was going to like open up my terminal and do a fast fetch, this machine is a mini PC,
Okay.
a minis form. It's got an AMD Ryzen 9, and it's got an integrated graphics card. I am running Trixie, so nothing. It's so what? November 15th is 13.2 is going to be released. So yeah, again, this is over a 2-year period. This will be this third release on Linux. Sorry, on Debian 13. It's obviously not using the latest and greatest kernel or anything like that. But I am using DWM, as I said, and as terminal. So as far as workflow though, I like I said, I kind of stick to the web. And then if I am using, I don't use, even though I really like my my Neovim configuration, I don't actually use it very often, only because I suck so badly at it. But I think we talked about that on your show, Christian.
Yeah.
I
We did.
really like it, but I just am so bad at it that I was like, oh man, that looks really nice for a markdown file. And then if I do space MD, it actually shows a markdown preview of that. As far as movement is concerned, now again, you talked about PyCom there for a minute.
Yeah. Yep.
This version of PyCom is the FT Labs version, and so it actually has a lot of kind of animated effects already in it. So if I was to move one window to the other side, it does pretty smoothly. I don't know if you can see that because, like I said, I'm not using the 1920 by 1080. I'm actually using a was it 3440 by 1440 screen here. And I would be, and I use, like I said, if I'm doing any coding or any text editing or something like that, instead of Neovim, I'm actually using Genie. And I'm doing that here in it's a regular GTK application. I like using it because I do have it pretty heavily customized in terms of like plugins and key bindings and so on and so forth. So as far as workflow, I stick to like 12 workspaces. I always have dedicated workspaces for specific either tasks or applications. Always when I'm using like I'm not going to show you my first workspace because like where all my proprietary stuff is for my work and stuff like that. But it's all like Firefox, for example, and I have my mail pinned to the left side. I don't know if everyone, so that is part of my workflow. I'm using Firefox where everything is pinned in a specific spot in the browser. By the
Mhm.
way, if you are using Firefox, I use something called Better Fox. A lot of people will just say, why don't you just use something like LibreWolf or something like that? I choose like like Firefox ESR and then harden it using this project called Better Fox, where you have a custom user.js file and you can set like tracking and all kinds of like telemetry and have it not follow you. And there's a lot of things that I'm also putting in as far as overrides, including like I don't want there to be any accounts. Like it always bothers me when it's like, oh, you can synchronize your account and have this. No, I don't want anything like that.
Uh-huh.
I will say that I've also, I think, yeah. So this over here, I mean, even though it doesn't look like anything, is the Helium browser that I've been using more and more
That's
of.
based off of what? A Firefox?
No, actually, so Helium browser, I don't know that they would say it's in the beta yet. It might still be in alpha for certain distributions, but it is based on ungoogled Chromium.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it is a very private oriented Chromium based browser. And so Firefox is using the Gecko engine. This one's using Chrome, I don't know if you have questions. I don't really, I wasn't really prepared today for doing a demo, but
What about you guys? Do you guys have any questions? Let me just hold on. Let me just read the chat. Roman donated. Really appreciate that, man. Now, I have no idea why this meter does not update, because it should update when I get a donation, but I don't know what's going on. What is going on here? Hold on. Main. Hold on, guys. Okay, there we go. Now, what is this? Square there. Okay, there we go. Much better. So what does Roman say? Spent 3 hours tweaking my config last night and still wouldn't fit right. Just that the padding and everything slid into place perfectly. That's what she said. Thanks. Really appreciate the donation, man. And Rumen is on the call with us, by the way. He's furry number 4. But I don't know why. I don't know why this meter does not update. That's the purpose of it being there. So it's just basically doing nothing. Okay. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for Drew's workflow?
very workable.
Seems very robust.
And it's Debian, right? Drew?
Yeah, Debian 13.
Debian. Okay. And what are your thoughts on Nix? Like Jackson, when are you gonna
I don't know
switch to
anything
Nix?
about it, honestly. I think that when we talked about this before, if I and even based on what he was saying, it's like if you're going to put that much effort into it, that seems like a lot to me, for me. I mean, I'm almost 60 now, and for me to actually have like a workflow that works and I can get my shit done is everything to me, especially when when my work, my actual work is not really related to Linux or anything. It's a much more business oriented job that I have. So yeah, it's all about like getting stuff done. And so if I had to work at that, then I would be really big. But overall, I guess I have kind of carefully curated what I do on Debian over the course of several years. And so when someone says, "Hey, why don't you try this?" I'm like, "No, thanks, appreciate it, but no." So
Makes perfect sense. I would counter with just two things. One, the amount of time I put into Nix versus the amount of time I imagine you would put into Nix, it's going to be night and day. Because I was learning Linux essentials, functional programming, and just general programming savvy all at the same time after like middle of my freshman year. So my experience definitely played into how long I was spending on it. I think if you have a baseline functional programming knowledge set, then Nix will come a lot more easily. Or just, and this isn't even necessarily me recommending it, just
No, I hear you.
it's I think if you have experience just in the in software in general, like if you understand the problems that Nix is solving, it's going to be so much quicker to pick up. I knew exactly 2 problems it was solving. I get rollbacks on my system, and I'm not going to have library conflicts. Knew nothing else about what Nix was trying to solve, but I had to because the problems I didn't realize I had before, Nix forces you to solve them, at least on the operating system side. And that
So do
actually
you
brings me
feel
to
like you're like super stable at this point in terms of like your packages stable and
yeah, so I would feel 100% comfortable like right now wiping my entire drive and reinstalling from scratch because everything's declarative. My system, like the actual core of it would be rebuilt from scratch, and then my dot files are all there. I don't use Home Assistant or sorry, Home Manager at all. The Nix language is great for configuring Nix specific things. The second you try to expand the Nix configuration model to other configuration mindsets, I guess it just falls apart in my opinion. And Home Manager Home Manager just doesn't
what were
seem
you
worth it to me.
using as a GUI? I missed that part, I think.
Hyperlint, basically, yeah. I think most people know Hyperlint nowadays, thanks to Omachi.
Yeah. It can look a number of different ways. I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
Hyperland user, you're not using Debian stable.
Yeah. And can you use Hyperland on Debian? Drew, you said no, right?
I would say no. I mean, especially with the version of WL. I mean, it would take some effort, even let's say you're talking about Sway. Okay, Sway works perfectly out of the box because there's a Debian package that goes with a WL roots that's 0.18. Okay, so it works perfectly for that. If you decide, hey, I want the animations and stuff, I'm going to try SwayFX. Well, the newest version of SwayFX uses WL roots 0.19. So at that point, Debian stable stops being to put together because you're going to have to do something with WL roots that is not part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
So you could pin maybe a testing package to that. I've always, and have kind of a Franken Debian type of OS, and that ends up being more problematic, at least for me, than I'm willing to like try. But there are plenty of people that just run Debian SID, just run Debian testing, and they are fine. I just don't feel like I need to do that. I'm fine with the older packages, even though Debian 13 just came out in June. And after 24 or 26 months on Debian 12, and probably not another 2 years before the next version of Debian, I'm fine with that. I don't really care one way or the other. Do I need the latest version of OBS, Audacity, things like no? Don't care. There is a few exceptions. I think we talked about those before. Like for example, you guys were kind of demonstrating your Neovim config. Debian stable, the Neovim config out of that package is 0.10.4.
Oh, is it
Very
10
old,
now? It
even
was
by
9 last time I checked.
Hmm? Say it again.
I'm glad they finally updated to 10 because last time I used Debian it was 9.
It was 0.7 in Debian Bookworm. Yeah.
Oh,
and,
okay.
or-
Yeah.
and so for for obvious reasons, that's a kind of a non-starter for a lot of people. It's like, no, I can't use that. I just can't. So I end up building the Neovim, the latest version, and putting it on my Codeberg page, just so that people can just like use that Debian package and install it like normal. But overall, yeah, there's more of the exceptions than the rule in terms of like, do I about I said before, OBS or LibreOffice,
Yeah, the
any of
latest
these other
packages.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's hear the thoughts on the macOS users. Well, Ian is a macOS user. Well, he doesn't know what he is yet. He is non-defined at the
Undefined.
moment. Yeah. Are you still a macOS user, Ian, or you switched over to Linux? Hold on, he's
Ian?
unmuting. I think you're unmuting,
Yeah, I
right?
just gotta sort out all the audio.
Okay.
I use macOS for work, and then I'm running Omachi for my personal PC, just because I can do whatever.
Uh-huh. And how is it going with Omachi?
Good. Yep. I mean, I'm streaming now, so
Oh, you're
it's
using
fine.
that computer?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The whole point was I couldn't do personal stuff on my work computer anymore. So it was like I could go buy a personal Mac, but then I'm too poor. So I got a little mini PC and then running Linux on that.
So what happened? They locked your work computer down?
Yeah, there was a bit of a security incident.
Yeah.
Not me.
It happened.
Not me. Everyone's.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like you can't sign into your like personal browser profile, and then they were just keeping an eye on everything else. Like, don't sign into personal things using your work computer, basically.
It
Which
happened.
makes sense. Like,
Happened
it's
to
fine.
me at the previous company that I was. You guys know LastPass, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So LastPass was one of the products that the company owned. That company is logged me in. They also own Hamachi. I don't know if Hamachi is still a thing or not, but go to meeting, go to my PC, go to webinar. LastPass, one of their products, and we were able to use the computer for everything basically, right? The MacBook. I installed Obsidian on it. I did basically, you could do everything, but you remember the LastPass incident that happened a few years up, a huge incident. After that, everything
Just one?
changed. Yeah, no, yeah, but that was a big one. That was a big incident. After that, they got pretty serious and they locked down a lot of stuff. So I couldn't use my Mac anymore. It was like, nah. But it's a good thing for the company, because they can avoid a lot of incidents. So I guess that's where you're at the moment, right, Ian?
Yeah, so like it was pretty smooth. I've got Neovim, same config on both. I run WesTerm on macOS
Okay.
and Linux.
I want to see. I want to see
And then I
your.
play a few games, but not many. Just
Okay.
digital board games on Steam. But that was all fine. Like, no issues getting that running.
Let's see. Who is sharing right now? I think Drew is sharing.
Want me to just try that link?
Yeah. Let me kick Drew out. Okay. Not the camera, Drew. Just the screen sharing. Okay. Now
Okay.
you can. You can give it a try.
Should I be
Ian.
doing something on my side, or is that what you're saying?
No. I did it
Oh, okay.
from here. Don't worry.
All right, good.
Okay. So I see your screen. Let's switch to it. Okay. So this is
Yep.
Omachi. Tony, if you ever watch this, I'm gonna
Yeah, okay.
find
cool.
this specific part of the video and I'm gonna send it to Tony and I'm gonna tell him, what are your thoughts on this? Because Tony is
You're
the
gonna call
number
me out
one.
like that. He's gonna follow you and you're just gonna throw me under the bus.
Yeah. He's not gonna watch. Well, you don't have a YouTube channel anymore, so nothing bad is gonna happen. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are the specs for this? 52 gigs of RAM. No. 50.
No, that's the
200.
file system.
Okay, that's this disk space. Okay,
Yeah.
32 gigs of RAM.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
integrated graphics card.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap. It was like on Amazon sale or something.
What is it? A laptop or?
No, it's just a little mini PC. It's. I wonder if I can. I'm afraid if I pick it up,
like the one.
everything will turn off. It's only like this big or something.
One of these.
I can't. I have to switch, and now I'm going to share the thing. Yeah, it's even smaller than that.
Oh, but this is really small. That's what she said. This is one of the small ones.
Oh, what was the
What's the brand name?
Origin Magic?
Now, we're gonna hear From the perspective of a macOS user, how does it feel to switch to Linux using Omachi? I hate saying Omachi.
This
Let's
one.
call it Omarchi, okay? Because it sounds horrible. Omachi. No, it doesn't make sense. But from the perspective of a macOS user, oh, that one. Okay. Okay.
Blah 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 blah. Unavailable, but yeah, it was what, like a few hundred Australian,
Okay.
which is probably only like
Good.
100 and less than 200 US, I think.
Yeah, good. 100 Australian. God damn, that's cheap,
No,
man.
no, less than a. It'd be like a couple of hundred or less US. It'll be a few hundred Australian. Our a dollar is worse compared to the US.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything's more expensive here.
Oh,
but
you
it's
have
also,
one there, Drew. Similar. I think it's
Yeah,
similar.
this one's a minis forum is the one I was using. It's like it's
Yeah, I've heard good things about those as well.
They're beasts.
It'd be similar.
Those are pretty popular. I have four. Well, counting this one, I have 5. I have 4 running up there, and those are running my servers. They are my servers, we could say, right? But they're pretty popular. They don't make any noise. They don't consume a lot of power. They're perfect machines. So let's see. Let's jump to Ian and tell us from a perspective of a macOS user, how does it feel to switch to Linux using Omarchi?
I mean, obviously, Omachi is set up pretty much for macOS users, macOS web devs, even more specifically, right? So that was me, and so it was pretty painless. Like the fact that it was sort of Neovim out of the box. I use my own Neovim config anyway, but things were set up that way. I was using Raycast, so having like a launcher that was very similar is pretty handy.
Don't leak API keys this time, because that happened the last
well, it's
time.
Not my work. That's the beauty of it. It's not my work one, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Yeah. So having stuff like in here is really handy, you know.
But do you have to
And
do a lot
then-
of searching? Can you just jump to whatever you want without searching? Because I hate bringing that menu
Yeah,
up,
so-
searching for something.
So on macOS in Raycast, I had like global hotkeys for, jumping to the browser and all that sort of stuff, right? So same thing here.
Okay.
I've got all that as well.
Okay. So you don't have to go through that search menu, right? You can go wherever you want out of the box, or you have to configure the key maps.
And so you do have to, well, there would be some key maps, but then you have to use whatever DHH wants, right? So, whereas this will be all mine. So I've got like command tab switching between, this is something I added. Actually, I might as well show what's that in.
Ian Vim, god damn.
Yeah, I did that a while ago. So this is like Hyperland config stuff, right? So I unbound like a bunch of Omachi ones, and then added my own in a few places. Like toggling full screen or whatever, but floating. Yeah, so moving focus between windows. I don't know. So Vim keys to jump between those. They would have had arrow keys. It's a bit hard to see, but that's jumping between the.
Oh yeah, I
open
see him.
ones.
The color changes. Yep. What
Yep.
terminal is this?
Western.
Western. And does it come with Omarchi?
No, Omachi Alacrity, I think. Just, again, it'll be whatever DHH uses, but that's pretty easy to change. So, where was that?
Oh, you use mini.files, right? Okay.
So, I use mini.files and then just snacks picker.
Okay. Like a true king. Okay. So you're just basically copying whatever the LazyVim distro does. So this is Jackson's point, right? You roll your own config, but then you end up copying everything to a distribution.
Well, kind of. Like, I guess that's kind of the point with Omachi. Like, you do get everything out of the box. So I had a lot of stuff set up, and then I got rid of a bunch of things and then changed it. to suit my needs, right?
I'm playing with you. Okay, so go on. So you have
Yeah, yeah.
Western there. You're okay.
Yeah, so if you're Western, this is probably mostly stealing from Josh Medeski's stuff.
Mhm.
Like his little, I used to have background changing through there. What else?
Oh, what happened to
This is-
Tmux? What happened to Tmux? Did you leave it behind or what happened?
Yeah, Tmax was gone long ago.
Yeah. And what do
So-
you use to switch sessions or?
All right, so let me. So this is by what's his name? ML Flexer or something. It's a switcher. So this was inspired by Sesh, which is the Tmuch session manager thing that Josh Majeski built. So this is another one, but for WesTerm specifically.
Okay.
But it's like fuzzy search, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then I built on top of that so that if I open particular sessions, it'll, in this case, like it opened up Yazi, right?
Okay.
Maybe I won't go through whatever's in there, but yeah. So this was another bit that I added on top, like having, this is for work, but if I open my .files one, just open up NVim, and then you can see that there are a few of them, and here's if it's downloads. So this is the beauty of WesTerm, right? It's all Lua code, so you can, because I'm a web dev, I can do a bit of kind of development stuff, and this will make sense. So this will loop through that config up above, find a matching one, and if it is, like, send that command to it. And so these would be a list of commands. So this one, for instance, from my work stuff, FNM is for changing node versions. So it would like switch to use the default node version. And that's so that Neovim is using the latest version of node that I'm running, not the one for that project. So, but you could have whatever commands in there. So you can kind of use it similar to, what's the Tmux one? Is it Tmux
Sessionizer. Yep.
No, Sessionizer, is that the one just for jumping to different sessions though?
You
There's
get
one
the
for
pop-up.
like do specific configurations, right? So technically I could do that, but
Yeah, you can get it works with FCF, right? So you can configure which directories you want FCF to show you, like the subdirectories, and you can also, configure specific directories to a key map, right? Both options.
yeah. And then this is a thing from Josh Medeski. It's because I'm coming from a Mac mostly,
Mm-hmm.
mapping a lot of things to the command key where it
Okay.
makes sense. So a few of these are just for like getting it to behave the same way as I would expect in a Mac, like getting rid of go to the start of the line, end of the line, that sort of thing. I know that you've talked about similar things, but WesTerm, actually if I open a new thing, and maybe I'll do that again. WesTerm's got copy mode.
Okay.
So this is where you were talking about like editing your
Your
scroll
last
back or
command.
whatever.
Yeah, the scroll
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can do things like this, right? And like copy that out and all that sort of thing.
Is it its
So you
own
can-
implementation or it uses like Vim?
Yeah, that's
or...
built in. That's built in.
Okay.
And then there'll be another one. Oh, I can't remember the thing for that.
What's this
the-
color scheme? Is it your own or
Tokyo
is it
Night. It's just
Omarchi?
Tokyo Night.
Okay.
Yeah, so Omarchi, you've technically got the like, style theme. So you can go and change themes. They've got it set up so normally it would change like Neovim as well, but I turned all that off because I'm using my own config. But it is kind of nice that if you want to, you can just quickly change themes and stuff.
Hey
Kinda
guys,
change the
if
thing.
someone of you needs to leave, just let us know in chat. You can guys leave whenever you want to leave. It's fine, okay? And if someone else wants to join, we're gonna see if we find someone else in chat, okay? But I think Drew, you have to run, right?
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks.
Okay,
Guys.
see you.
See ya.
Yeah, so the other thing WesTerm's got, you can do quick search across the screen. So I've set up one. This is also sort of inspired by something that Josh made. He
So it's like
forks some
Flash,
Tmux
right?
plugin. Yeah. So So Josh did a fork of a Tmux one, which would scan your scroll back and look for URLs and give you a fuzzy finder for opening URLs from the terminal. And so I kind of, inspired by that, built on top of WesTerm's thing. So WesTerm has this thing, which is kind of like Flash. So hopefully you can see it, but there's little yellow highlighted letters for all the things that look like URLs. It'll usually search for the main one, the quick select will search for like Git hashes, numbers, all that sort of thing. And you can like copy those to your clipboard. But this one would allow me to just open stuff. So if, for instance, like this is the README for my dot files, but it's saying if you're looking for my Neovim one, it's over there. So if I hit C, that'll just open up just in my default browser. So that's pretty handy because you can do it from anywhere, right? So, yeah.
Okay. And this is the terminal, right? No, it's not the command history. Is it a Neovim plugin? What is this?
That was I just did a bat.
Okay.
But like if I just cat it instead, so that's now I'm still in the terminal thing here, but same thing.
Oh,
exact same thing, right?
Like the scroll back, but it allows you to open links, right?
Yeah. So for instance, like now that's my scroll back, but you can see up there it's got
highlighted. Yeah, the letters. So
same thing. So just straight away opens it. So that's really helpful because I think you were showing your workflow was more like, I'll open my scroll back in Neovim, search for stuff, copy it to the clipboard, or maybe you've got something for opening links, I think, don't you?
I don't open links.
You've got a shortcut for open links, whatever. I think you can do that in Neovim anyway, right?
Yeah, you just GX, right? And I can open the link, but I rarely.
So you can do that.
What is that glitch that we can see on the right-hand side? Is that like a Linux?
That's your chat. No, that's that's just YouTube's chat. I don't know. Okay, maybe I need to. I can't get it. I tried to like Ruben's comment. Didn't work. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
So a few things that are nice in WesTerm. So yeah, I mentioned this thing for switching, and then I've got like another one for if I go to my Neovim. So if this is another session, right? And then I've got one for just jumping back and forth. So I think Tmux has a similar command for jumping back and forth. And then when I was using sesh for Tmux, it also has one for your previous session. But yeah, so this will do that. I've got shortcuts for just opening, new tabs and then closing them. And again, like I map all of those to command things just because that's what I'm used to, right? Mm-hmm. So that's all this sort of stuff. Switch workspace. I've got a couple of them. So like Command S, which is the normal kind of save thing. I just have that send through the actual like Neovim write thing. And then, this was the quick select thing. So again, this is the nice thing where you can just write stuff in Lua. So I can get really specific about, this will allow me, if I do the README thing again and do that, if there's anything, so you can see sort of around the middle, it says Synthwave Cyberpunk. So it's assuming, because it's something / something, that it looks like a
link.
No, like
URL.
a GitHub thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So actually, if I switch over to here and then cat the README for this, oops. Does that? Let's do that then. Yeah. So if I do it now, you can see where it's got Ian Simmons nvim config, for instance. Oh yeah, up the top there, Ian Simmons dot files, right? Mm-hmm. Because that looks like a GitHub thing, something like username / repo.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It will work with that as well.
Okay.
So it just assumes it's GitHub. So sorry to the Codebug people out there, but yeah.
Okay.
So it works with that as well.
Now, how do you feel about Linux as a macOS user? Do you miss macOS? Are you planning to go back to macOS?
I love it. Like, it's so clean, and because like I never got around to trying window managers on macOS. Like, it was a bit annoying because I think I install one of them, and then I had someone from work be like, "Hey, what's this app you've got installed? Because it's getting flagged as like
Yep.
malware or something."
Mhm.
So that was the end of that. Yeah, so I love it. Like, as long as I can get around with the keyboard pretty quickly and navigate between stuff, like it's very quick.
Okay. So no going to back to macOS. You're a Linux
Not for
user
my
now.
personal one. Because the other thing was, like I said, I only do a little bit of gaming, right? But that's mostly just playing digital board games on Steam. So, like, you can do a bit of that on Mac, and I used to, but otherwise it actually works way better on Linux. I am dual booting Windows, but I haven't opened Windows since installing Linux, so I might as well at some point just wipe that and start fresh and do the whole drive on Linux.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on macOS, Jackson? Have you used macOS?
Against my will, yes. So a little while back, I used to own a framework laptop. It was a school purchase where I wanted something repairable, and I figured the investment into that would be worthwhile. But that thing was, and I'm under the impression that this is unusual, but it was a piece of crap. It broke so many times. I think I RMA'd it probably 4 or 5 times, but they would never just send me a new one. They kept sending me the old one back. I had like a ship of Theseus laptop by the end of it. I was very impressed at how repairable it was, and I was very impressed with their customer service, but the laptop itself sucked. So, beginning of my sophomore semester, I had to completely RMA it again, had no laptop, had 2 programming classes that I had to take. So a friend let me borrow his 2012 MacBook, and he ran all the patches and stuff on it, so it had an up-to-date macOS, and it wasn't horrible.
Hmm. Yeah, and
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 that's
it
about
was an Intel-based machine, right?
it was.
Yeah.
I am so incredibly jealous of Apple users just on the hardware side alone. The M series chips are just insane. They boggle my mind. Just the benchmarks. I wish I could get that power in a form factor like
A
I
laptop.
don't know, a ThinkPad. Yeah. I think we're seeing some of that with like the framework desktop now. That's a pretty compelling Mac Mini competitor.
Mhm.
Wish I could afford it. That $1,500 price point is kind of concerning, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to that space. If I had to use a Mac, I would rather use a Mac for development than Windows. Windows is, well, it's Windows. I don't think I really need to elaborate on that any further. Yeah, I don't know. It's just my beef isn't even necessarily with macOS. I am a fan of opinionated setups, at least like morally speaking. Like I'm okay with them existing, and I'm okay using them because I understand why they exist, and I understand that for something like a Mac, it is impressive how well it's built given how many people are using it or how many types of people. Like the fact that developers can have just as good a time on it as my grandmother is so impressive. For like I'm building a bespoke desktop, so to speak, and I can barely make it work for myself where I actually appreciate it. So the idea of building something for everyone is it's impressive to me. But the company itself is just reprehensible in how they handle like repairs and software openness, and it's ironic to me that it's kind of they've become better than Windows over time, at least in
And
terms of it. Yeah,
what do you guys think would happen if macOS would open up their stuff? Like, because there's this distro Asahi Linux, and the guys were trying to reverse engineer all this stuff,
I would
So
have bought a MacBook yesterday if that was the
yeah,
case.
but
Because yeah,
I think it's a win-win situation, right? Because there's a lot of people that would use a MacBook Air, which are not that expensive. They're cheap. MacBook
yeah.
Airs are cheap. And if you get a Windows laptop or any other laptop out there for the same price, you're gonna get shit. It's just gonna be trash, right? So why don't they open up their stuff so that other I don't understand because they want to sell hardware, right? But
Their
why
software ecosystem is like it's a joke that there's paywalls everywhere in the Apple ecosystem. I think that's a big part of it is they get so much from software sales. I mean, they took Epic Games to court over Epic's desire to bring purchases outside of the App Store. Like, I think we might be underestimating just how much the software ecosystem means to their bottom line.
Yeah, but the people that normies are not going to install a Linux distro on, on their Macs. They're just gonna use it the way that it's designed. But I mean, developers, people like you guys, would probably install a different operating system on a Mac computer, right? But you guys will not pay for all the other stuff like iCloud and all that crap. No. So I don't know, it would benefit a small amount of people, the normies would not even notice. They wouldn't care.
That small amount of people, like if we just project total, is it like 4% is the desktop market share that Linux has? If 4% of Apple's users installed Linux on their Macs, like just projecting that, that's at least in theory, and this is very dead simple math, but that could be a 4% reduction in their bottom line. That could be untenable for them, potentially. I don't know. I'm obviously not in on the Apple income sphere, but I just imagine it would be like more impactful. Like even a small percentage, I think it would be more impactful than. But who knows?
Yeah, but would mean more computers that they sell, right? They would sell a lot of computers. Framework would have a problem if that would be the case, right? Framework would have a problem because a lot of the
Framework
Linux
is not selling as the boutique Linux laptop. They're selling like I think nowadays, like with Omarchi and how much like they're in bed with Framework, I think that is a really interesting relationship, and I'm curious to see where that goes. But like most people I know who have frameworks came into it strictly from the repairability. Like
Okay.
that was their only goal. Most of them are using Windows on it. I think it's a vocal minority of framework users who are using it as their Linux dev machine. I think most people are, and I could be mistaken. I haven't really paid attention to the framework sphere since I returned my framework laptop like 8 months ago. So maybe that dynamic has changed very quickly recently because I know it's got a lot of traction lately.
Okay. Now, Rumen, you wanna share your
Yes.
setup? You've been pretty quiet, man. What's going on? You didn't even shave. I don't
It's
think you
time.
even showered. What's happening?
Way to put me on the spotlight. Thank you.
Do you wanna share your
Uh,
workflow?
Just
well,
show
that's
off
the thing.
your show off your website. Just
Oh
like
yeah, actually.
My
Now,
website.
if you guys watch my
I had a look the
videos,
other day. It looks good.
yeah, if you guys watch my videos, by the end of each video, I always say, thanks to the CEO, Web23, web23.com. That's this guy, Rumen here.
Thank you.
So,
Single-handedly funding link.
yeah, funding. Yeah. It's tough with
Yeah.
the Linux community.
Yeah. Yeah, let me hop on the stream and I'll share my terminal setup, which hasn't changed much, but I want to show you, I guess, a part of my dev setup or something, or I guess what I use daily.
Yeah.
Can I
Oh,
create
You
some
need me to
stuff?
stop? Or
the screen sharing? Oh yeah, I kicked
Yeah.
you out already,
yeah,
Ian.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
I see how it is.
if someone else in chat wants to join, because we're missing a furry here, okay? If there's like a NixOS user or someone that wants to join, you don't have to
Hey,
share your camera. It's
It's
fine.
my turf. I'm the NixOS user here.
The
There can't be-
NixOS.
if there's two NixOS users in the same spot, we're just gonna argue over like I don't know flake stability or something for the next hour. It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Okay, I can see your screen, I think. Yep, we can see it.
Yeah. I'm just sharing my terminal just because I am on my work computer and I don't want to leak stuff. So I've locked myself into a directory, and I'm just going to show just basically the terminal.
Okay,
I can stretch it up a little bit if
that's
you
what
wanted
she
to fill
said.
in the screen.
So you're on Mac, right, Rumen?
Yeah, I wanted to highlight that I'm kind of like Ian, so Mac for work, and I've been dreaming of some time available to actually get Omachi set up for my personal laptop or personal computer so I can use.
Now,
But for right now, yeah.
if it wasn't for Amarchi, would you go to a different Linux distro? Like, you're busy, you're working pretty much the whole day. You have family, you have kids, you have wife, you have to travel, you have to do a lot of stuff. Would you put the energy? Would you find time, in your busy day to go and learn Nix from scratch or Arch from scratch and go from there? Or would you go with something like a Marchi? What have you thought?
That's a great question. So I actually was thinking that why I was debating, because we've talked about this for at least a couple of months now before even Machi came into existence, and I was considering going into Arch. But knowing how much free time I have, or non-existent, I was like thinking like, oh gosh, when am I gonna find the time? And that's why my setup hasn't improved a lot since the last time we did a live stream, because I just haven't had the time to put into changing anything. I literally just need to get stuff done, and that's why I have it to a certain degree, and I'm happy. I even stopped messing around with Tmux, because these days, I just open one terminal, I get one thing done, and I move on to something else. I don't even spend that much time developing or coding or making anything. Just most of it is troubleshooting or creating new stuff, something quick and simple, nothing too elaborate. And so I wouldn't put the time now into Arch, but one day I will. One day I would love to sit down and, dial into every single detail, just like um, earlier we saw it with the NixOS setup is once you dial it in, you can pretty much wipe your hard drive and start from scratch, and it just boots it right up into exactly how you dialed it in. But definitely not right now. I think Omachi is a good alternative for me because I can just boot it up quickly, spend some time on the keybinds, figure out, tweak some stuff, and then make it work for myself. So
Okay. So that would be the option then, Marchi.
yeah, that will be the option. Yeah. So for work, it will be Mac OS because my whole company uses Mac, and so I have to maintain Mac. And so this is the work laptop that I use,
Now,
and my personal stuff will be on
would you
March.
be moving away from Mac due to pressure? Like, because you see all the content. Now, most of my viewers are Linux users, and I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing here? Because I ran a poll the other day asking, okay, I assume most of them would be macOS users, but no, most of them are Linux users. So there's a lot of pressure out there, and we feel like we don't fit here. We have to do something about macOS. So would you be switching over to Linux due to pressure, social pressure, or because you want to do it, or why? Why don't you stay on macOS?
So I want to switch into basically self-hosting my own things, coming up with my own tools. I like the open source community. I want to start contributing to open source community. I also want to have the full freedom to set up everything however I want. I mean, one thing is I haven't messed too much with the Mac anymore, with the window managers and any of that, because I just don't like all of the extra layers that you have to go through to fight the Mac OS system, and all the things that you have to hide, and it just does not work that well. And so, yes, I would, for personal setup, I would move away from Mac. Work-wise, I have to keep a Mac OS just because, again, the whole company uses Mac. So I have to screen share into other machines. I have to be able to keep updating stuff, and so I have to be current on Mac. But that's going to be basically because work devices, iPhone, Mac computer, and it just syncs very well. But when it comes to like my personal stuff, when I want to develop stuff for myself, I would rather do it on Linux.
Okay, okay. So show us what you got then.
Well, the reason I was quiet is because I was actually working. You know very well that I use a lot of AI coding tools, and recently I came across the open code one, which I absolutely love how well it works. It's just been my favorite, and actually has been a lot more productive than the Claude CLI by itself. And so I actually put this little thing for you while we were just kind of talking. This is with with the open code, and we know that you love "That's What She Said" jokes. So this entire thing, it's basically a TUI app built by open code, and Anthropic, of course. I'm using still Cloud Sonnet 4.5 for all the heavy work, but open code as the front end, and then basically takes your entire repo injects funny stuff into it. So I thought it would be something as a end of the live stream or towards the end of this live stream. While you guys were talking, I was working on this and I was prompting it and I was checking some stuff. It's very raw. I didn't have much to show, but one cool thing is that I actually can switch the team. Apparently, you like Cappuccino and what is it called? The other one?
Cappuccino, man. I used Cappuccino in the past,
Eldritch.
but
Okay.
yeah, nah, I don't use Eldritch anymore. I use my own colors. Yeah.
Is it inside the dot
And
files?
yeah, in the somewhere in there, man. It's a maze. So somewhere in there,
Well,
it's
let's see if this can find it because I'm kind of curious if we
yeah.
can find it.
Search for fiambre. That's the name of it. It's a weird name. And so what
Yeah.
this thing uses OpenAI credits, right? This open code, how does it work? Like you need to put in your API key or something on it, or
So you have this like login or an init kind of like login command, like a command that you can log in, and it gives you option to use one of like if you have like one of those Max subscriptions, because I do have the Anthropic Max subscription for the
Mhm.
CLI tool, and so I just log in with that. So it uses essentially my tokens that I have available within that subscription, which I use the max, so it has the max amount, which I never get close to using them. We can check how much I've used after that, but essentially, um, you can log in with another subscription. On top of that, they just added something. I haven't checked it out, but apparently it's pretty cool. It's their own picked out models, and you actually can sort of subscribe through them, but they don't take any profit for any of the credits. So basically, they just bill you for the tokens as though as you're just supporting the providers of the models, and they call it something open code Zen. And so it's like a Zen thing. You basically put your credit card in there, and then they start charging you per usage, basically.
Mm,
So I haven't tested out. I haven't tried any of the models. I just have the other subscription that my work pays for, and so I'm just basically using that for right now. So,
okay.
yep. And so like right now, for some reason it thinks that is it fiambre? You said.
Yeah, it's called radioactive fiambre. But it's based off of Eldritch. I modify the colors here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. It's here, right here. Look at these colors, guys. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Right.
I just thought that the the open code can actually find it pretty quickly.
That's this one. Yeah, but people don't like bright colors. I see most of the young folks, they like old people colors. They like what is this one very popular called? Um I don't remember
Well,
the
I like
name.
the rose pine.
Rose pine. That's what
That's
Prime uses. Yeah. Jackson, what do
mhm.
you use for the color scheme?
I used whatever showed up in my terminal, and then I'm like, oh, that's a color, and
Uh-huh.
then yeah, that's about like colors. One of those things where I would love to spend the time to build it out, because I'm not the most artistically inclined person, but I do appreciate a good color palette. But I also know for a fact that it would not make me more productive, and so I can't justify
The time.
the time. Yeah, it's like sure, I might enjoy looking at it 4% more, but I mean these aren't bad colors, so just
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a million things on my to-do list. Building a color palette is on there. It's just very close to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to build one
Anyways, I'll
inspired by
drop
the
this
Pacific
because
Northwest.
I want, yeah, that would be really nice. But I really like some of the stuff that I put in here. Came out with a quiz apparently, but I guess it's not that. I don't know if it's that accurate. It literally came up with like a little quiz for you, and I think the one what theme is Linkars tired of seeing everywhere.
Dropbox. Oh yeah, that is Dropbox. That's
Let's
what
see.
a lot of people use.
No, it thinks cappuccino for some reason. But he
Yeah.
prefers something more exotic. That's what she said. I haven't checked the accuracy of any of that, but I just thought that this would be pretty cool for what is it? What type of content does the Carzo create?
Let's see what it
Cooking
says.
shows, music, gaming videos. I'm gonna go with tech tutorials. Hey, I got it correct. He loves going deep into technical topics. That's what she said. Well, of course, this one I think is this because I already did it once. And then what editors in Carzo's main focus? It's definitely Emacs. He's all about that modern, extensible experience. And the terminal. Now, this one I didn't get right because for some reason it has the information mixed up, but I know this one came out correct. And so it gives you words. We even have shout outs here. It built a little shout outs to Linkarzo and open code, of course, just because they're awesome. And so, yeah. So all this was kind of put together by the time you guys were talking. I was just kind of messing around with it, and it's not pretty good. I think it's a quick little tool. I know that we were talking at some point to show you more of my kind of like a tools that I use, and well, that's basically it. I use a lot of AI tools just so I can put together something like a quick fix to something, and or to come up with some new features. I review the code after that. I obviously check for securities and all that, but for most part, I don't. These days, I don't have enough time to code it myself, so I just kind of give it prompts and ideas. And this one actually works really good. I really like the way it works. This one works really
I
good.
haven't tried
So
it. I have to give it a try. I don't know. If it's money involved, I'm like, I pay for ChatGPT, the good old ChatGPT. I heard or I read somewhere that it has some sort of an agent. I don't know what the name of it is. Do you guys know? Because I paid
Codex,
$20. What?
Codex.
I think that's what I heard. Yeah. What is that?
Mhm. It's their tool. I don't know if I have it on this one. No, I don't have it on this. On the other laptop, I probably have it, but it's basically their alternative of Cloud Call because this is Claude by itself,
Let's
and they
see.
changed it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
Oh, okay. But what is that? Is that Codex you said? No, that's
no,
Claude.
this is Cloud Code. Yeah, this is Cloud Code. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. What are your thoughts on AI, Jackson? Do you use AI?
So it okay, a little bit of context for my thoughts on AI. I am currently unemployed, job hunting, and when people ask me my thoughts on AI, it's like asking, what are your thoughts on the thing that might strip away your potential career? It's like, I mean, it's cool, I guess. I don't really know. I appreciate how it's being used nowadays. It's like, I wish I could be comfortable with it. Like, I see the inherent power that it has. Um, I've never used it myself outside of like the ChatGPT free tier. I basically use it as a rubber duck. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrible at most of the coding challenges I run into because I'm in esoteric shell or Nix land, and it just has no context for any of it. But seeing like the agentic tooling come up around all of these these APIs, it's like, man, wish I could afford that, and I wish it wasn't my direct competitor in this job market.
Huh.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm neither here nor there with it. It's
It, but I don't think it's your competitor. It's just a tool. I think it's just like a calculator, right? Because
oh yeah.
you have to know what you're doing, and that's when it serves
I
you.
Yes.
don't. I am a junior engineer to the extreme. I've been in this for like 2 years.
Okay. Now,
Not
did you
Well,
even.
finish? Did you finish school?
sorry.
I got my 2-year degree,
Oh.
which here is like basically useless. It's almost worse than nothing because it shows you didn't finish out the 4-year degree. The only reason I didn't go back to school for the extra 2 years is because I ran out of money. And graduating into the current job market with $40,000 of debt,
Mhm.
I just didn't even want to think about that. So I was like, I'll just try my luck for a few months.
Mhm.
And if we hit a recession, yay, I can go back to school and justify the debt. But we'll see. It's a rough time.
You were gonna say something, Rumen?
Yeah, I wanted to say because so I never went to school or any of that. I'm self-taught on the amount of coding that I know. Before AI, I think I was actually progressing. I was learning stuff at a different rate. Now with AI, I do allow it to do some things, but I've definitely I can recognize the limits, and it's just like a calculator. It just does things a little bit faster. For some things you literally have to handhold it. For some things you have to fight it because it doesn't really know what it's doing. It's relying on you, and the open code itself, it's a little bit more curated, so it overcomes some of the challenges, but very much is just like a calculator. It just allows me to type faster and do things faster. Not that, like for instance, I may not be like I've built some cool apps in the past, mainly Python and some JavaScript stuff. Um, Myself without AI back when I was just using reading documentation, but nothing to the extreme or capabilities like right now. The best part about the AI is it's very quick and easy and very inexpensive to prototype stuff. So if I'm trying to come up with a solution, I don't have to spend a week going down a rabbit hole to figure out that I'm going down a rabbit hole. I can very quickly prototype something, see if this concept will work or this idea will work. And if not, I can toss it away because I know that I spent 15 minutes typing up something. Then within 15 minutes, I had something that I can click around and see, oh, you know what, that maybe is not going to work very well. Like I remember, spinning up web servers and all that by myself. That was a nightmare before. Even with like something like Next.js or React, it was still like, okay, you gotta remember the commands and read this, and then you miss something, and then it's always like testing something new took a long time. With this, I just tell it what I want, and within a few seconds you have that. Like for instance, we can hop into the model. So this is where I change the model, and I can hop into the previous session that I want. And can we make this into a like a web app, right? That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm,
Nothing else. And what I just created as a proof of concept, like, is this gonna be funny? And it's like, oh, it's like now it's doing something. And I don't know why it's using radioactive amphiamber again, but maybe I need to, like, right now I've fed it a lot of stuff, and maybe its context is kind of like diverged quite a bit. But yeah, see, it's doing something stupid. I can see it.
and
But you can basically do a new session.
oh, okay,
Oops.
room and screen. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't like these agentic agents or whatever. I don't know. I just like going. I know it's slower, but I prefer copying and pasting from and to Chat GPT. I haven't used this, to be honest, so I cannot say that I like it or dislike it. I have no idea. I know it would allow me to create stuff faster because copying and pasting is a pain in the ass. So,
Mhm.
and what about you, Ian? What are your thoughts on AI? He has to find the mute button. Has it hidden somewhere?
I have to find the thing, mute the stream, and then unmute my microphone. I my work is going pretty heavy into Cursor. I don't know, they tried a few things out, and there's like a whole team dedicated to doing everything faster, and they're making assumptions about people using AI now. Like I'm in web development. I think it makes sense in web development. There's a lot of things that it can really help boost your workflow. I only want to use it for things that I don't want to do myself. So the actual web development coding work, that's the bit I like. I don't want an AI taking that part from me. So I get it to do the boring stuff, like, put together a test thing for this, or some sample data, or like, just loop over this giant log file and find this thing, so
Mhm.
find some patterns in this or something like that. And where possible, I want it to tell me what it's doing so I can do it myself, right?
Mm.
Like if it's, oh, I use this regex or something to look over this and find something, I'll learn that and then do it myself. So just as a little boost, I'm definitely not using it as much as some people in my organization. But the other thing that I'm excited about is that they want to try and use it to write like functional specifications for work. And that's the other thing that I don't like doing much. So, like writing about what needs to be done instead of doing the actual work, I'm happy for AI to take that off my plate. Or,
I heard functional specification, and I just was like,
and
oh,
just like
that
zoned
sounds
out.
familiar.
Yeah, traumatic experience. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm happy for it to do that. Obviously, I still need to understand what it's writing and and validate that. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm happy for it to do. Taking notes during meetings, like there's no point paying an engineer who doesn't need to be in the meeting to give input, but there's no point like paying them to also take their own notes and do that sort of thing. Like, it's kind of not the best use of our time, right? So yeah.
Okay. I try to use it. Hold on. I'm just gonna bring up Medeski. He's gonna join us right now. But I try to use AI. Let's say, give me YouTube, YouTube description, a YouTube title. Give me thumbnail ideas, and it doesn't get it right. And it's like, God damn. Give me the chapters. It doesn't give me the chapters right. So
Well, but if you're just doing that in a chat thing, it has no context, right? So this is the whole thing. Like, if it doesn't know anything about you, whereas if you had something a bit more local, you're like, here's all of my video, here's a list of all my video titles so
yeah,
far.
that
Here's
would
an
make
example of all the thumbnails. Like, throw it at a directory. It can look at images. It can, go over that. And if you've got a multimodal AI thing, it can actually sort of do a bit of matching of what's in your thumbnails. It'll realize that you're the furry and you like that kind of thing.
yeah, I'm
And
just
then it'll,
disguising it. Yeah.
like use that in other thumbnails. So it could probably like pick up on a bit of your style. So that's what Room is showing. Like, if he throws it at your entire dot files, it can see some patterns. It seems like it knows something about you, but it's not really. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
it
it's
can
not very
recognize-
accurate.
It can recognize patterns that occur frequently throughout.
Where would I run it? Are you talking about a local model, or are you talking about?
Well, you could. That's the thing. You could play with some local models. This would be good to get Josh on this because he's done a lot with AI, local models, Olama, all that sort of stuff as well. He could probably.
Yeah, let
share
me
a bit
bring
more
up
about
Josh.
that.
Josh is gonna be furry 3. Hold on. Let me send them the links.
But yeah, you could
Your
do it
web app is
local
almost
if
ready,
you're worried
too.
about that. If you're worried about that leaking, you could do all that locally. But that's the thing. Like, giving it much more targeted context about what you're talking about and what you want to get out of it.
That's a big part, context. Sometimes you expect it to be magical and you just provide it. It needs to know a lot. But when you provide it a lot of context, it gets dumb as well. So I'm scared, I know that it's gonna reach a point in which it's just gonna brain rot itself and it's just gonna start throwing up trash. So I don't wanna give it too much, but if I don't give it enough, it's just gonna be trash anyway, right? So I
Yeah,
don't
but if
know.
you're just asking like straight up Chat GPT, then its context is like whatever it's scraped
Yeah.
from the web up until however long they've trained it, right? Like maybe a year back.
So
or something.
what's the best way to use it? Is should I use Codex then? Is that a better, I don't know.
You probably have like an API key that you could plug into any of these coding platforms. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
about
any of
the
those would be
pro
fine.
tier. I've never used it, but I think they just give you a token limit a month that you can work with, if I recall correctly. At least that's how a friend of mine was using it.
Okay, let's see. Where is Josh? Hold on. Let me see if Josh is already there. Okay, no, Josh hasn't joined yet.
Can you share my screen, or can you put my screen so you can see the web app version of what I put together in about 5 minutes?
Okay.
It's just as a proof of concept. This is just to test the concept. Like, hey, is this something that is going to be useful, or am I going to like this,
Oh,
or what is it?
that looks nice, man. I would like my website to look like that. So I could use it to
See?
learn. I'm not gonna trust
Mhm.
I'm not gonna trust it, but it's just gonna at least teach me the topics that I need to research to come up with this, because
I mean, this is a little portfolio that I put together a long time ago, the same way. I just basically made it, and it's like, hey, Rumen, and you can fill out this, and it'll actually send me an email So this is like a little portfolio that I put together. It's, nothing too crazy. It probably took about an hour worth of prompting, and here it is. And you got something. I used V0 for that purpose. V0, I think you have $5 monthly free credits that you can play around. So you can test that out and see how it puts things together. But yeah, no, this is, hey, if I want to test a concept, like here's, I can click something, I can see something changing, whether it's accurate and it's perfect, it's not. This is literally just a proof of concept again, where it's very cheap and inexpensive to test things out. And hey, let's test this out. Oh, okay, shout outs, we got that. We got the Neovim game. Let's see, it doesn't work because it doesn't let us type anything. We see some stats, chat. And so we see stuff, but we can't click. And so our next thing to say is like, okay, well, we need to actually, be able to click stuff around just like we did in the TUI app. But again, it's very quick. This took 5 minutes. By the time you guys are talking, I just asked it, can you convert it? And I have something that's in the browser. It's already working. At the very least, I can change the theme. For me to put this together, probably would have taken me at least a couple hours, like exactly like that with the theme switchers. So I'll trade 5 minutes for a couple hours any day.
And what did you use for this? Do you use open code?
The same one. The same one.
Okay, open code. How expensive is it?
Well, that's the thing. Depending on how much you're using it, I already subscribed to the Claude CLI, or like the Max subscription for Claude, just because of the amount of usage that I get of it and how much it actually saves me. So I'm just pairing it with open code. Hold
on.
I'm just pairing it with open code.
Can you? No, it's Medeski. Wait. Can you mute the live stream, Medeski? There we go. Hold on. There's Medeski.
Yeah.
There we
I'll
go.
get off the spotlight.
But yeah, you're only paying for the LLM, right? Like you don't pay anything for open code. You pay for the license key for whatever LLM.
Unlike
you want to use.
OpenAI, open code is open. It's like a proper open source CLI tool.
But you could use an open source free one running locally if you've got the hardware, which on an M4 you probably could do pretty easily.
That's
exactly.
I could do that on an M4.
Let Josh jump in because he's got way more experience with this as well.
Yep, I'm gonna close this.
Hey Josh, how's it going, man? Let me see. Let's see if we can hear you. Can you say a few words?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hello.
Can I hear you?
You gotta fix the name, Link.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix the name as well. Ian is like my moderator, or what is it?
Stream wife.
Yeah, like my stream wife.
I used to do Angular. Look, Angular JS. Not anymore. Not so much Angular in my life, but I spent a lot of years doing Angular.
Nice.
Ian, hi. Ian's on my community, but I've never actually gotten to chat with him in person yet. So this is as close as we've seen each other. What's going on?
That's true. Yeah.
We were talking about AI, and I don't use AI the way that I should use it. I use it, the old way. I just copy and paste to and from ChatGPT, and that's the way that I've been using it. I just got stuck there in the past, but it has come a long way. How do you use it? What do you do with AI now, Josh?
Yeah, it's a mix of things. I saw open code open. I decided to start paying open code for their server time, which I use the Kimi K2 model, which is pretty fast and reliable, especially with open code hosting it. So you give them money and they just charge you at cost. And it's been pretty reliable so far.
So this is also not related to OpenAI at all? Like they have their own model, or?
So open code is just, the guys that are building the open source project right now that we saw. And so they're now running their own servers. basically. So they're like fine-tuning the models so that the MCP stuff works correctly and the feedback loops. I used to get a lot of errors from open code. And they told me, hey, they just weren't well. The models themselves weren't being run very well. And Ian was alluding to Olama. And I find that even with an M4 Max chip here on my MacBook Pro, it doesn't really compete very well with these like 400 gigabyte models, right? It's like, I can't run that on my Macs. I can run good models, and if you want to do short things, like quick actions, in Obsidian, we can talk about this more, Link, if you want, but in Obsidian, I'm doing a lot of text transformation with mostly raycast commands, but really any sort of Obsidian capture text and then do things. So raycast lets me use visually selected text. So I can visually select something, and let's say that I want to make a markdown call out. That's kind of annoying. You have to do the greater than signs and brackets, and then an exclamation point, and then an uppercase word, like note, warning, info, that kind of stuff works well as like built-in stuff that works in GitHub land too. And so I can select text, write it in a way that's really simple, like note, colon, sentence. And then when I run the command, it transforms it into a markdown call out. So that's kind of a really practical use case that you use like the lightest, smallest.
Do you want to share your screen?
You can find.
I don't know if you have
share if you want.
a lot of private stuff in there, you know.
I think I have to connect to it.
Yeah. There's the other link. Rumen, did you quit out of it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's only one.
Yep. Yeah,
There.
we're using one because my computer doesn't. I don't want her to suffer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
5 guys, 1 link.
Like the meme. Have you seen the girl sitting, the white girl, and the other guys in the back? No, guys, please stay serious. Okay. Let me know when you're sharing so I can switch to it.
I'll get it.
To satiate my curiosity, why not use deterministic computing in that and just have like a regular expression that just, I don't know, like Obsidian's plugin API is so dead simple, and I think it would be a lot easier to just and keep in
So
mind,
you're
I don't
fine
use AI, so-
with that assumption. It's totally valid question. What I would say is, at least for me, raycast commands work with any visually selected text anywhere on any app. So it's not an Obsidian plugin. It's like GitHub issues. I want to add a note. If I'm in, I guess, any application that has Markdown in it, I can use this workflow. So that's kind of the nice thing about raycast, is it's universal. But you're right. I have a bunch of unpublished Obsidian plugins that only I get to use.
Hey,
That do a lot of creative stuff, and AI text manipulation is my next path forward. But I'm finding that if you separate it and you have your own text transformation tool that's global, then you can come up with more ideas and what kind of patterns in your life, can you break down? Or this evening I was working on a project manager. So the idea is that I speak to it with dictation. And the new Parakeet model, if you haven't heard of it, is really fast. It doesn't really matter which speech-to-text app you're using, but...
Is that one Microsoft, or am I thinking of something else?
hey, Josh, and
Parakeet is open
what are your
source,
thoughts on moving over to Linux? Have you felt the pressure? Because it seems that we're the only ones, man. Like, you on macOS.
So raycast is going to hurt, personally. If I don't have raycast anymore, there's a lot of substitutes that have to be put in place for me to be happy with like being productive and having like this AI stuff. Raycast's chat feature is like a really, really, really good version of this, because they give you these models for like cheap. And like Haiku 4.5 came out, and the same day it was in Raycast. And even in mid-conversation, I can switch between models. So like the sort of flexibility there is hard to replicate. And open code, you can give cloud money, you can give open router money, but that was the service I told you that I had trouble with. I thought the models didn't perform very well on open code. And I hate that all of these terms are all very similar to each other. So I can try to share links and stuff, but basically, the open router stuff is like there's like hundreds of LLMs you can use, but most of
Okay.
them aren't.
So you're
running
staying
very
in
well.
macOS in the for the
So
foreseeable
I'm
future.
here. There's
Yep.
no good alternative yet,
Uh-huh.
but I like Omarchi. It's cool. It's downloaded. I want to pick Ian's brain about it
Mm.
and even see his workflow, because he's
Mhm.
actually replaced Sesh with a similar kind of tool
Trader.
using WesTerm's multiplexing capabilities. And you said it's fast and it's pretty good, and the macOS bindings, the super key probably helps with the transition.
Yeah.
I do like the super key for pretty much all my terminal.
Okay, let me know when you're ready. We can switch to your screen so you can show us around.
Probably gonna keep it simple. Yeah, you can there. You guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we see
got that
ourselves
infinity
going into
mirror
infinity.
going on.
Yeah.
Showing, what is it showing?
It's showing the stream.
Oh,
The
it's showing
stream. Yep.
Love that I did not make that up.
Yeah, so mine, like I showed off that I've got Neovim and all that WesTerm set up, but I'm not actively doing development work on my personal PC, so it's a little bit less of an issue if stuff isn't quite as streamlined. And I also don't use Raycast as much, even on my work Mac. Like I don't use any of the AI features or anything like that. It's mainly just clipboard manager and app launcher. Global shortcuts. So those three things, like I can get by on Omarchi pretty easily, right? Like with the Walker, I think Walker is the like app launcher equivalent, and so that's fine. I can launch an app just by typing the name quickly and opening it, and it's got the menu for configuring it a bit. I had to add the clipboard manager in. They had it originally, they got rid of it, and then there was just like a thread somewhere from their Discord about how to set up a clipboard manager, but that was pretty straightforward. So that's pretty much all I need. But yeah, I think Josh would have a much harder time replacing everything that he's got in Raycast with some equivalent. He'd have to reconfigure everything. I'm sure there's people out there who are looking at that, of like, how do I get everything that's in Raycast on Linux? I know there was one person who was building something similar for Linux that would work with Raycast plugins to some extent, but I don't know how far that got.
Yeah, I don't depend on Raycast too much, and I would like to see what you use it for. Well, actually, Josh, I don't want to get more involved with Raycast because I don't know if I'm gonna stick to macOS for sure, but I don't want to depend on it too much, and it might be too good, that it's just gonna lock me in more. So,
It's a good problem to have, though. I think that as content creators, especially, we might be scared to overcommit to some operating system or some tool chain. So like Raycast is in Windows now, and it does make my Windows 10 experience when I'm like gaming, or I like to do stable diffusion. So like a lot of the plugins only really like Windows. Okay, I'm in Windows sometimes. And now Raycast is there. So that's kind of cool, but they're not promising to move to Linux. So it's good to invest in tools that make you productive. And so I can try to show you why I'm productive here, but...
Okay, now we see a black screen.
Yeah, you should see black, so that was on purpose.
Okay,
So as a note... Monitor wants to show. So, me. Still there?
Yep, we're here.
I'm not good at managing all this, apparently. Can you see something now? No, you can't see anything.
No, we can see a black screen.
I think it dropped out.
No, I just switched to all of us. But
Okay, now you should see.
there we go. Now we see it. This is
Better?
Obsidian, right?
Yeah, this is Obsidian.
Okay.
So if I want to say like note, Ian has recently switched to this full time. Right.
And how do you get this autocomplete? What is this autocomplete that we see
This is
there?
Obsidian in action, right? Obsidian is all the projects, areas, resources, relationships, goals, like everything lives in Obsidian in my life. I don't really use note-taking app, or I don't use a task manager.
Now hold on,
I just do
because the
this.
last time I used Obsidian, I didn't have this like auto completion of words, or maybe I didn't enable it. Is this something new or something?
No, this is kind of the core
core?
reason
Because
you would use this. Yeah.
I'm using Windows at my current job, and I just realized that I can install Obsidian, so I'm gonna manage everything because I cannot use Neovim there, and I
Yeah.
just cannot. But this will
And so this
come
is
pretty handy.
This is on all the operating systems, right? So it's a good choice, and it's local files. So I have Vim mode, right? We can see that I'm, moving around. I can even find keys. So it has a lot of the motions you think you'd want. And if I visually select something and ask for callout, markdown callout generator AI, this is a command. It will take it. It'll transform the selected text with note. And the backlink stays the same, and everything else stays the same, and it's using the GPT-4.1 Nano model for now. And if I hit enter, now look, I have a note.
Okay.
So it's a simple example. I'm going to start doing a lot more complex stuff with that. It could turn into an Obsidian plugin that uses a llama or something like that, sure. And there are good options out there that can do this sort of. You just have to pick which one you think is going to fit your workflow. And so this is doing a lot more than that. Markdown, I have
this
details generator.
is
Markdown, the link one is a big one I can show.
Custom. Is this something custom? The one, the raycast, the extensions, or what are those? Is that something you created?
This is something also built into raycasts. So it's called a command. So you can pick say a pie, and let's say I want to change lights in office. I can do some really cool stuff with these commands now. So something that I can do is Home Assistant. Let's see, where do we put this? Home Assistant, right? We could say update the in the office to a fun color. Change it every time, right? So this is just like really basic stuff. We can use Raycast's model, and then they have all of these now. So this is I guess this is turning into my Raycast pitch, but they have Anthropic models, Google
Are they
models,
paying you?
OpenAI models, right? I could have a conversation with them. Grok is kind of fun to play with, see what Elon's doing in the Grok space. And then this tool that I mentioned, OpenRouter, is literally hundreds more. And we don't have time to even talk about them, but there's just so many. It's crazy how many they have. So if you ever want to play with it, it's just pay as you use, and every model is going to have its own price. And then local models can be used. So some of them are pretty good, but your computer has to load it into context. It has to like make it hot, and then it can run it. And then once it runs it, it shuts off at some point. So you don't get an instant result with Olama unless you like fine-tune your settings or you're using it all the time. And so I do use it, and this is free. The Olama running is, you don't have to be a pro Raycast user to have it.
Okay.
So that's cool. Let's see if this one actually works. Office lights. What was it? Change lights in office. So it'll just run, in this case, say you can access Home Assistant. I don't know. Will this be impressive if the light changes? And there you go. It didn't work. So you gotta love live demos.
Those are the best demos.
They're the best demos. And look, it'll work again. It'll work a different time. So.
Okay, so it seems that it did work.
It claimed to have ran something, but it fixed a light in front of me, not a light behind me. So I'd have to be more specific. But
Okay.
so you can integrate actions, and there's all sorts of things that I plan to do in the future with text transformation, which is pretty cool. And then the main thing is, so I don't share something I don't want to share. I talk to AI about pretty much everything. Kind of crazy how much I end up using this for, which I think was to your point, Link. So, you know, all the same models are here. Now you can adjust creativity, give it system instructions. I have one for Mongo.
What is this? Is this Raycast as well? This pop-up that
This
you
is a
showed?
Raycast tool.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is their other main AI feature that I use probably more than everything else. So here's that new haiku model. And then I say use context 7 MongoDB. You're an expert, you're going to guide me through this. So really basic prompt. Maybe we give it a little bit of creativity. And you'll see that I have context 7 here, which will dump aggregate house. Let's say aggregate a user on a module. Right, and so it'll do MCP stuff. We love MCP, and this one's going to try to grab MongoDB and give me all the latest documentation that's specific to what I'm using, so it kind of reduces the hallucinating.
Oh, so it gets the documentation, okay.
I'm not saying it gets rid of it, but it definitely helps it give you some more relevant data. Gotta love the flickering. That's okay. But once it's done, it's going to look fine. And so they'll break down, you know, how to use Mongoose. And so more specifically, at work we use it, and aggregation is a really powerful way to like do complex queries basically on your database. And so, you know, having this kind of expert here, just right here, all the documentation is always provided, is great. And if I want to have the default model be different, I can change it for specifically for MongoDB work if I like Gemini's, you know, Google's models more. Or if I like Claude. Claude is really good at coding, right? And so you can switch to, and if you're like, I miss, you know, my old GPT girlfriend, right? What was the joke? But like OpenAI's older models, you know, people really liked 4.1 and 4.0, and they thought 5 was pretty like inhumane. It wasn't like as warm and friendly as it used to be. And so they give you some general sense of what's going to be better. So like the reasoning model has really high intelligence, right? And then the Google stuff is really slow. And so at least for me as a developer who uses these tools full time, it's really nice to be able to experiment with all of them, especially when a brand new one comes out. And my conversations can be really long. I can spend half an hour in here sometimes just talking back and forth. And if I run out of context, sometimes I'll just switch to another model. So like Google's Pro model has 1 million tokens as its context window, which is really hard to get to that by having a long conversation. And then this is in action. I can just say, give me a match that is on ID and then also on name, and use regular expression to have the first name be the partial match and only the first name. And so something called Mac Whisper, which is just a one-time paid app, and it was instant. I mean, I don't know how it was for you guys between audio and video, but for me, I can speak for 2 or 3 minutes, and it almost instantly, you know, puts it in. And so, yeah, using text or speech to text is just like the game changer right now for me. It's like I'm so much faster speaking. And you're supposed to use natural language with these models, right? That's kind of the point, is to use natural language. And look, we got that thing that I asked for almost immediately. And so you can repeat the process. You can do this in open code, right? Trying to think of an actual good place to do it, but open code, you can dump dictation software into the prompt, and you can create, you know, different rules and different agents and different patterns, or just sometimes it's just a prompt, like start with this prompt and this is going to be the conversation. And so I could talk forever about this. I want other people to share their experiences too. curious if anyone is. Most people just open up T3 or ChatGPT.com or whatever, and all those tools have the same options here, right? They have the same.
Do you have your
potential
Obsidian?
workflows.
Do you have your Obsidian config public, Josh? Or do you have it in your
No,
.dot files? No.
No, so far it's far too specific to my to my life. Like everything in my life is here.
Oh,
And
no,
if I
no,
were to even
no, no,
click
no.
on,
I
like,
don't mean your notes, but I mean your configuration, your Obsidian config itself.
I would have to do a lot, I think, to get that public.
It
Okay.
stores your configuration with your notes. It's like on a vault basis. So backing it up, like it's not in your .config. It's wherever your
Yeah,
Obsidian
you
docs
put
are.
it
So you'd have to
somewhere
use like
else.
Stow or something to pull those in.
Well, and this does a lot. I mean, if I want to go to Home Assistant, the background changes. So that's something that I came up with based off of a prop.
Interesting.
And then the sidebar is also something that I came up with. So today I have these new ideas and some upcoming projects, and so this thing dynamically changes based off of the areas of my life. Pretty cool. So I really like my workflow, but it's not. This is like first time it's on YouTube. It's like either you guys are the first one seeing this, but my hope is that I can publish the plugins, and I've done my best to isolate the features. So like if you want the wallpaper feature, it's a plugin. If you want this cool sidebar thing that changes with your workflow, I have to find a way to break down the system and make it more accessible to like the public to consume and set up yourself. And like right now it's a little bit overly specific on my workflow. But
okay,
go
yeah.
to the comments and tell me if this is something that I should try to publish and all.
What do you guys think? What questions do you have for Josh? You're muted, Jackson.
I was inverted. Very impressive workflow. I would say publishing Obsidian configurations, it's almost like publishing your Neovim configuration in the sense that it's so personal that trying to get anyone else to use it is like it's an exercise in futility. It's like there's going to be some esoteric extension of the nominal workflow that it's just impossible to adapt. But I, for one, look at Obsidian configurations all the time because there are little snippets in there where you're like, oh, that tiny little thing they just did in their workflow is so cool, and I wish I had that. And then you can just Obsidian's so flexible with, like plugins and configurations and just general workflows that it's really easy to pull stuff in. So, yeah, publicizing it is for something that with that much work in it, I would encourage it personally.
Yeah, I moved.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say I've used my day job to architect out the Obsidian workflows. So I have like a full mono repo with multi-plugin package sharing, and I have build systems mostly in place. And so you can use mono repos, so you have shared code between your plugins. And so that's the stuff I'm playing with that hopefully might improve the quality of Obsidian plugins, because it doesn't seem to be like a lot of professional, like full-time, engineers are thinking about this. It's just mostly hobbyists. And so along the way, especially those that are programmers, you should reach out to me if you want to talk about this more, because I'm just I probably should just be more active on YouTube perhaps, and
Yeah,
share with you guys that's working, because publishing is kind of the last step. I just want to get it right before people download it and submit a bunch of issues and tell me, hey, this doesn't work. I'm like, I know it doesn't work. I just built it. So
that's why you put a big disclaimer on the front. Do not use.
Yeah, I think I can get to a place where we don't have to throw alpha, releases on it. But, I do have a day job, so just balancing life.
Yeah, I migrated away from Obsidian and I'm just using Neovim entirely. I don't do too complex stuff. Just my Markdown files, basic stuff, not crazy stuff. But like I said at work, I cannot use Neovim. I have to I'm using Notepad++ right now. Do you guys know what that is? Like, you don't get Markdown features. You don't have headings. You don't nothing. You cannot even bold text. It sucks, right? So that's what I've been using. I try to use Neovim. I couldn't. I installed a gvim something. It's like a portable Vim application. It worked, but I realized that I can use
Vim on a
Obsidian.
virtual keyboard.
Neovim has portable builds, don't they? For Windows. Like you can download a portable. That like I have like a
Oh,
little
really?
rescue USB with a portable Neovim and a portable Alacrity, and it's my full like no language servers or anything, but it's my full Neovim configuration on a USB stick, and I can just
On
plug it into someone's
Windows.
computer. And yeah, they got a portable Windows build.
Oh, because I'll look into that. I'll reach out and I'll look into that. Yep. Because WSL at work, the thing is that okay, so I
If you're in
touch
WSL, that might
yeah,
complicate things a
I
bit.
touch network equipment, right? So the environment is pretty strict, right? Because um I work inside a VM, right? I work inside a VM, so I'm not working. So WSL inside that VM, like 3 layers in, that would be slow. Now I don't want to get into that. That would
Well,
be
Neovim
way
in
too.
Windows is slow anyways because of how they do the. I don't remember the exact. Casey Muratori did a video on not on Neovim specifically, but just about how Windows terminals use like the interfaces they use just make them agonizingly slow. I don't use Neovim on Windows without something like Neovide because it's just a million times faster by default. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Obsidian seems like a great option, at least for me. Tony's in the chat. You want to join us, Tony? I don't know what happened to Ian. I think he left. But if you want to join, just reach out in Discord. I don't think we're
I
gonna
was
be
hoping we'd have an Omarchi user. Omachi. Or what were we calling it? Omarchi? Is that the
Omarchi.
official
Yeah.
stance? Okay.
Yeah.
Omarchi, and then you know, we got two sides of the coin there to hash it out.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that.
Have you thought about Omarchi, Medeski?
Yeah, I've got it on a PC right here on my desk.
Uh-huh.
So if I take time to configure it, I'll probably be mostly productive with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coding and navigating the web is pretty much all I need. And Discord, it's like I don't use that many apps, so I think most of it's replaceable. You just have to do the work.
Yeah.
It is opinionated on his opinions, right? Like I don't like any of the bindings for the apps, so I have to figure out how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy. It's a single line in your hyperlink.
I figured it was.
Yeah.
I just have to. I spent most of the time trying to dual boot hardware, so I was pretty burnt out by the time it got working. Like, all right, I don't want to touch computers for a day.
Very reasonable.
Yeah. So, what are other topics you want to touch on?
Ooh, I don't know. What is there to talk about? Oh, by the way, have you guys heard of NixOS? Let me just bring that back in. Might as well. Gotta evangelize at some point. Actually, I'm in the exact opposite group of the people who probably should be using NixOS, if I'm being completely honest. Too specific.
Yeah, I don't think I'm. No, I'm not gonna try Nix.
I will say, so and this is a distinction I think is worth making. Nix and NixOS are two distinct things. I would encourage anyone to at least check out the Nix package manager because it is a very cool utility. Like I used it on the 2012 Mac for a little while just because I didn't want to use Brew because I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to use Nix either, so it was kind of I don't really understand the reasoning there, but whatever, it worked out. So yeah, the Nix package manager is pretty solid. NixOS just extends that declarative model to the operating system level, which some people might shudder at that, but for me it was like, oh, me gusta. I don't know. Feels weird to be the youngest one using the esoteric stuff. I mean, I guess we're all inherently in esoterica land, but yeah, I don't know. Guess I gotta find my niche.
I've used Linux over the years on and off. And I've ultimately come back to like the polish, but then at the end of the day, there's some pretty polished UI tools, right? Like Wayland and Hyperland, right, is the most popular and stuff. So people are going to have their opinions on it, but we're getting to a point now where I probably would be fine with Omarchi's aesthetic, I guess.
I will say aesthetically, yes, they're very polished. But the user experience coming from a typical window protocol, I guess, protocol is probably a pretty poor word to use because that's inherently what Wayland is. It's just a set of protocols. Where something like X11's, full stack client server interactions. Wayland is it's improved so much, even since I started using it like a year and a half ago. But it is still, there are baffling design decisions. Like, okay, number one complaint for me, no, not even number one. I think it's the stupidest thing. Your clipboard, right? Basic function of any operating system. You want to be able to copy paste things. That's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. How could you fuck that up? In Wayland, a client has to exist for as long as the text that was copied from it to persist in your clipboard. If you copy text from a terminal window and you want to paste it in Obsidian or whatever, like you copied a shell command, and you, God forbid, you close that terminal window as you're going over to paste it, that text is gone. Because in the name of security, they've decided the client has to exist for the text to exist, which is such a bizarre model. And there's a million workarounds. I mean, but you have to go out of your way to download a clipboard client just so you can have something as basic as persistent text. And that design model of security in spite of simplicity and usability affects everything in Wayland and Hyperland too. Hyperland does a lot to, like, they use all of the bleeding edge protocols, which I appreciate. That's why I ultimately stuck with it, is because I can do things in Hyperland that I can't do in any other desktop environment, at least not right away, because their development cycle is so ridiculously short. I mean, you get, bleeding edge features every couple of months, which I've never used a piece of software which improves as quickly as Hyperland does. Genuinely impressive. I mean, like just the other day, they added, people were talking about like, oh, I don't want to show this window. In Hyperland, they added a bind where you can block a window, like at the compositor level, from rendering inside, like in any screen recorder, because there's no distinction between, or rather there is a distinction between like a rendered surface and the clients within that surface. If you're sharing a screen, so to speak, in any other desktop environment, you're sharing the screen. There's no way to block it. Everything you see, the screen sees. In Hyperland, when you share a screen, you're sharing all of those layers stacked up on top of each other, and those are in a separate render pipeline, effectively. And so there's a lot, and there are some annoyances with that, because it wasn't always convenient to screen share. Discord, for the longest time, you just straight up couldn't screen share because it wasn't using those protocols. It was like, I'm just looking for this basic screen share interface. It doesn't exist. I have to use this esoteric C++ or XML protocol that some guy wrote, and not every desktop environment actually implements it. It's like, okay, pain in the ass for software developers, I imagine. And so it's like, so that's why I think adoption has been so slow. But now we're getting to a point where all of these friction points, these relatively major friction points, have slowly been sanded down, and it's a little more tolerable now. There's still a lot of annoyances, and it's just part of the territory. But yeah, so that's why I say, like, visually, best it's ever been. So good looking, so polished. Everything is as modular and as customizable as can be, but there's just, the way Wayland is built is just inherently limited. And it's not like, oh, well, let's just try something other than Wayland. It took us, 15 years to get to the point where Wayland is relative to X11. A competitor, if it were ever to exist, it's so far-fetched. So I'm glad we've got these desktop environments and window managers, so to speak, breaking new ground. That's why I appreciate Hyperland so much. Even gripes with the development speed, because with that speed you do get some they're not afraid to break a few eggs along the way, and the developer himself is interesting. Despite all of that, it's just really nice to see actual improvements being made in this space, which has been stagnant for so long. And I'm so glad, like, that DHH is, bringing that to the mainstream for all these web developers, because like, great, we've got eyes on it, we've got money on it now with Framework. I made a long ass comment on your video the other day about it specifically, and it's just really cool to see all this attention now, because with attention comes improvements inherently.
Yeah, you have a point
Anyway.
there. Yeah. You have any thoughts on Marchi Desky? Well, you're mainly in Mac, right? But do you have any thoughts? Is it good for the Linux community? More eyes, just like Jackson said, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the what is it called? I have to remember the name of it now. There's so many distros, but the one Cosmic OS, is that what it's called, from the Colorado Computer Company, System 76? What is it called? Anyone remember?
Yeah, I'm not a Linux user, man. I have no
Okay.
idea. I'm just a normie.
It's, Pop OS, I think it's the
yeah.
official name of the distro. So they forked Ubuntu, and it's really pleasant. And I've used it on an old ThinkPad, and it was my go-to because Ubuntu was the easiest. Because I'm going to age myself a little bit. I was around before the teens started, so back in that time, like, Linux was small, and so Ubuntu was like, okay, this is the most likely thing to work on my machine without spending all the time, messing with all the little things. So
there was only Ubuntu, right? You remember the CDs? What other options were back then? Because I did use Ubuntu as well. Like, I don't know.
I think I was still like torrenting them, maybe. I think that's how they were distributing it back then. And so, it was reliable. It was really basic, and it looked pretty good. And then Pop OS came around, and I just liked Pop OS as a whole, as like a US-based computer company trying to make decent hardware. And so I used that for some time, and it was decent, and it was kind of batteries included. So you don't have to go figure everything out. And so that's always where I've been with my OSs. But if you know my YouTube channel, my terminal setup is really hyperly, built. Like, I put a lot of attention and detail in the terminal. So I've written multiple Tmux plugins, including a session manager that uses a few different tools together, including Zoxide, mixed with basically the famous what is it? Primogen had the
Sessionizer.
Tmuxinator, right? Tmuxinator. So it was sort of that idea, but let's throw a smart algorithm on it, and give it like a little bit cool self-working features. So that's where I spend most of my time thinking about this stuff. I don't think too deeply about macOS, aside from window management, and I try to get rid of all the UI I can. So like in Finder, I like drop all the menus off. And right now I prefer Arch, and you saw my Obsidian, it was like almost all the tools were like not there. There weren't any sidebar like ribbons, and there weren't, and in my Vim setup I don't have a status bar at the bottom. There's no status bar at all. So I just lean on simplicity, and I know that Linux probably could get me a little bit further. I know, like, traffic lights, in Mac OS, and I use Aerospace for window management, and it's fine. Better than Yabai, but it's not always stable. It likes to crash. And I think they're getting better at it, just like Ninjackson you were talking about. Like, that's an open source project, so how much time and money is going to be put on it, and how much manpower is going to happen, and do people agree with each other? Because in open source, you kind of, I don't want to do it that way. Well, most of us are being not paid anything, so you need someone like me for Sesh. I've had contributors. Everything's went well for the most part, and so I give people guidance on how I want to do it a certain way, and features only go in as quickly as I have the time for it. So I think that's the bigger bet with an OS like Linux. And DHH is currently putting all this time and energy and money into making this really good. And so that's good as long as he sticks around, right? If he leaves, I think there's a big enough group now that it would probably be able to be self-sufficient. And I would assume that he may go on to other things, right? He may go and decide to do another project that takes up his energy. And so I'm sure he's got some contingency planning for how this Linux distro will work. But so far, it's been, like you guys said, it's like a web dev's intro to Linux kind of thing. Because he's a Ruby guy, right? He's the Ruby guy. So he's a web dev guy too. And so I like the simplicity that he's bringing, but I don't know if it would be my main bet. Like, do I go buy a framework laptop and do I sell my MacBook Pro? I don't have that desire yet. But
what about the watch, the AirPods, the phone?
Yeah, I know. You guys see my watch and everything's, the AirPods. So for now, Apple's good at just working for the most part. That's why I
Have you
use
upgraded to the new glassy version, the 26? You did?
Yeah, I was really, really disappointed in the Mac.
How has it been? I'm pretending that version does not even exist. I'm not going to upgrade.
You're probably fine there. I just think it's a little bit ugly, and I'm really disappointed at like the inconsistencies in the design. Like even the borders are different roundness, which is weird, right? It's like the border radius on the windows is different because Liquid Glass is like bigger, but if you're not using a macOS or macOS specific native app, it like looks different. I'm like, I don't know why they made these kinds of small inconsistencies. At least, some of the Linux tooling, it's very consistent. Electron apps, borderless, frameless apps, windowed apps all look the same if you have a decent window manager, but macOS is now not in that game, and hopefully they fix it.
Okay. To wrap it up, is there something you want to show us on your workflow, Josh? Is there something else you want to show?
I feel like I shared already.
Neovim or something, or?
I can show you Dropbar.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready and I'll switch to your screen.
Am I still here? Yeah, you can see it, right?
Yep, I see your screen now.
So
we have two furries on the right-hand side. Man, imagine you're just scrolling YouTube, right? And you see these two guys on the screen and you see two furries on the right-hand side. What would you think? I would be curious, to be honest. I would be like, the hell are these guys up to? Okay, sorry. Let's
We're nerding out. We're nerding out hard.
You need the title to go alongside it, like interviewing 4 furries on their software setup or
Good
something.
idea. Good clickbaity ideas. That's what I need. ChatGPT sucks, man. It doesn't give me the ideas that I need, but I need the ideas coming from an actual furry, because he's gonna get the other furries. Sorry. Let's go, Josh.
I like your thinking. I mean, this is Sesh. It's just going to give you a list of. I'm currently messing with Tmuxinator configs. So these are all custom configs. So if I want to do tmux config, I'm going to open that. And so what's happening right now is, well, I'm experimenting with a new feature. Why? It usually opens by default. But anyway, this is gitmux, so it shows me all of my git status info up here with the branch name. And then I use something called nerdfont icon window names, something like that. It's not a very good plugin name, but I'm the creator, and everything basically is just an emoji most of the time. So editing and git. And if
you click on it, okay.
If I want to switch, I just use Command E for editing and Command G for git.
Okay.
I don't think anyone can have a faster binding. And if I want AI, I hit Command A, and I can talk to OpenCode. And so switching is really great. And then I use the fish shell. And what I wanted to also show off is Dropbar is a little tool I use. So I don't have line numbers, indent, white space isn't labeled. There's no lower bar. I've been using Vim for so long now that I don't really need any indicators. I can select text, looks nice highlighted, which is kind of fun. And then the main thing I think that people will find interesting is if I change stuff in Git, Dropbar also will show me Git diff data kind of as I'm working. And if I have something that's more like do like an LSP error, you'll see LSP stats. Let's go Neovim. So, it's just dynamic. It'll show me what I need to show, all like within my eye line, what I like. So this is kind of probably going to be my next video, is talking about this, but pretty much nothing's on the bottom. So with Sesh, everything's on top. And if I'm in, this is a file picker, it's all at the top, which is a little bit counterintuitive to a lot of terminal, bootstrappy kind of guys that are just, their shoulders down. And so I'm trying my best to find a way to bring some more ergonomics to the terminal space. And so I'll be making a video soon to talk about that. But yeah, this has been cool. Dropbar is not my plugin. I just created custom modules basically that render all this, including the little smart file path thing here where it's like, hey, it's in the Lua plugins folder, but I have the Capuchin file open, right? So, and if I was to go to like edit I don't know, Sesh.
Now, it seems that Ian is also your wife, Josh, because I see him in the comments there posting, Josh is all about minimalism, and Josh is and Josh this, and
He's
Josh
a
that.
community member.
Yeah, he's the community wife. Okay.
If
I
they're
thought
in
it was
multiple
my wife.
communities, doesn't that? I think wife would be the wrong descriptor. No.
Yeah, what is it then? What we
Can I say it on YouTube? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are funny.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, if you open a node outside of the project, it gives me this little external note thing that tells me, hey, this isn't part of the current Sesh project, right? This is in a Neovim config, and this file isn't a part of that. And so I'm hoping to build on that idea so that when you open up a certain buffer, it sort of dynamically gives us some helpful context that's just always there. And I just use the tab key to switch files and shift tab if I want to go back. So it's just a really simple, overly minimal, workflow that does give me just enough context. I feel like this is just enough context for me.
What's the project?
Everything that's going on.
How do you know which project you're on? Is that the first?
That's the blue. Yeah.
Neovim. And config, what is config?
All the blue text is the session name.
Okay.
And Neovim config is the session.
Okay, that's the session name. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you know?
These are configs, right? And so if I was to go to like new main pack core, like a work project, right? So I won't open that and show you any of the source code, but I use work trees, get work trees, and I use really short abbreviations like Obsidian. We can show you Obsidian main plugins, right? And this is all kind of hard to read because I've blown out my text for you guys. It's nice and big and readable. And so this is my way of getting around. Here I'm in the dynamic wallpaper plugin. And if I wanted to switch, I can use Shift K and I can automatically switch to the main work tree. So if I wanted to do this sidebar, call it the widget. So this dynamic widget, different project. And so now I can have multiple projects open in the same work tree or in the same, the same work tree. And so it's just a really great way to get around quickly, easily. And then I can kill these and I can know that I don't really care they're there because I can go back to where I was, within seconds. That's been my workflow. It's been good. I really like that everything's just kind of up here in the corner. This side, I don't even render anything either. And then separating this to be perfectly aligned. Hopefully it feels that way to you guys, but this setting, there's a Tmx override setting that you can say, make my windows perfectly aligned with the center of the screen. And that separation so far has kind of helped me. Like 5 years later, I came up with this idea and I'm like, wow, this is great. So it's just sort of always an evolving thing. That's where I spend a lot of my thought, is how to like clean up this UI and keep it minimal. It's been fun.
Okay, pretty cool. If you guys don't follow Josh. I'm showing him here on my screen. Neovim Emacs.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out.
macOS, right, Josh? No Linux content yet.
I'm still a
right?
Mac OS guy, yeah.
And Tmux. Have you ever thought about leaving Tmux behind? I haven't used Tmux right now, like in 2 months, I think, or something like that. And yeah.
Well, I want to see Ian's WesTerm workflow in action.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I had a community member, he forked the idea of Sesh, he took the concept of it and he made a WesTerm plugin. It behaves differently, but it has the same core mechanics. And apparently that's sort of the sweet spot, is that core mechanic of, can I go to any folder on my machine, you know, with a query and create a Tmux session from it, or go to it, you know, and that behavior is like, once you switch to it, it's just like, you don't really want to lose that instant
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
loop.
Maybe the next time. Ian, he had to drop, you know, but the next time maybe he can join us and show us his workflow. But
Oh, well, this was fun. Thanks for
yep.
having me on.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Talk
thank
to you next time then.
Later.
Bye.